Live.
Let's see.
Yay.
Live or
Yay.
Rex? Let's see.
It says we're live. I don't know how
Waiting,
well I do
waiting,
enough viewing.
waiting,
I'm bad at this.
waiting. And there we are.
Hey, we are. We're there.
We're here. Yes, I can see us.
Ooh, that's exciting.
Except we're sideways.
Why the fuck are we sideways?
I don't.
You're supposed to be able to do what the fuck, Twitch?
It's your phone.
What the fuck, Twitch? All
Hi
right.
guys. Technical difficulties. Wait. Is it just me? Yeah, we're sideways.
That's how to rotate was off.
That is too funny.
Okay, are we still sideways?
No! Now we're straight up. Hi! Fun with Twitch. Hey, folks.
It's because auto rotate is apparently default off. What the fuck auto rotate would be defaulted off
Turn
for?
that shit off.
Anyway,
Anyway,
I just set the phone up.
welcome to Beer Splaining. I am Beer Snob Esquire.
I am Hoppy Hippa.
And today we're going to try out some of the local Pink Boots brews. Pink Boots brews?
Pink Boots
Brews.
Brews.
Brews, yeah. Pink Boots is society
a
of
nonprofit, I
female
think,
brewers.
right?
Yeah, and it's basically a situation where to try to combat the misogyny in the brewing industry. They'll share a similar recipe, grain bill or hop bill, across a different bunch of brewers, and then they'll all make a brew, and that's what we've got here. We've got two different Pink Bootses.
Yeah,
Lady Boss from Epidemic, which is a collaboration that they did with
Brew Hall.
and then Altamont's Hop Girl Shit, which is not a collaboration.
So they don't share a recipe. I think all they share is they share the hop mixture.
Yeah, the hop.
It's called the Pink Girl. They call it the Pink Boots hop
Yes, hop blend.
hop blend.
The Pink Boots blend of
Yeah.
this year: Laurel, Euconaut, and HBC 586.
I think it's Equinaut, but yeah,
Euconaut.
it's not EK.
Equinaut.
It's EKUA, right?
Yeah.
Equinaut.
Equinaut. I don't know. I don't know. I
Well,
don't
it's still
speak.
not Euconaut because there's only the one.
It could be.
No, it couldn't.
Sure could.
I'm pretty sure it could not.
I don't know.
Pretty sure it can.
Ex-
So we are going to try these.
Yes,
and
we
then
are.
after we try these, we are going to try some sort of barrel-aged thing, probably from Burning Barrel,
Burning Barrel.
because frankly, the Imperial Quad Raspberry White Mocha Iced Coffee Barrel-Aged 15.8% thing probably needs one or two more people to help.
I would agree. Unless it was the only thing we drank.
And I'm not even sure we could finish it.
Yeah, that's.
I'm pretty sure it's an actual quad, which none of us are super huge fans on.
right. And you can say 16%.
It doesn't say it's a Belgian quad at least.
That's true.
But that is typically that's the quad though, so
Yeah.
it's probably a Belgian quad. So there's a pretty good chance we won't even like it. But it
You know,
sounds sounds fun,
great. It does. But
and it's from Flatland. They make good beer.
They make very good beers. Very good
You know,
beers.
so-
And actually, their big beers tend to be really, really good.
Yeah, we were bad yesterday. We went out to track meet, and after the track meet, we went to this place called Mode Brewing in
Mode?
Mode MOD
Oh, really? Where's that
Roseville,
at? Okay.
Granite Bay area, somewhere around there.
Never even heard of that one.
Yeah, it's relatively small. It's right down the street from Palm Tree Brewing, which you've not been to. That's relatively new as well. It's small. It's only been open since Black Friday.
Oh, okay.
They do, however, do food. It's actually called Mode Brewing and Pasta a la Mode. So they have a little restaurant in there. It's actually really nice looking inside. It looks like a little food truck, something like that.
Oh.
So I got like a pizza letta, they call it. It's basically just a pizza. Then Amber got like this garlic bread with pepperoni on it, and then Callie got like a veggie pasta.
Oh.
And it was all pretty good. The food was all pretty good. The beer could use some
Work.
help. You know,
It is a lot to
the
do.
wife didn't like it. She didn't like hers at all.
Oh, wow.
We got the hazy IPA, but it wasn't really hazy. It wasn't clear, but it wasn't really hazy. And then the flavors were not typical IPAs. It was kind of a very experimental sort of IPA to me. I didn't think it was
Okay.
like off-putting. Amber thought it might have gone bad, but I didn't get that at all.
Ooh.
She thinks everything's gone bad.
Well, that's true. That is true.
Yeah, she's like, I don't like the way this tastes. The beer's probably
I
gone
think the
bad.
beer's not bad.
It's literally what she says about like a million beers.
That is true.
Well, you and I are like, I don't like the way this beer tastes. I'll just finish this glass.
Yeah. I just won't get another one.
I'm not buying another one of this
I'm
one.
not buying another one of this one.
I'm
Nope,
finishing
nope.
this fucker though.
I paid for this.
That's right.
It's very, very rare that I pay for a beer and be like, no, take that back.
So we left that. Let's pour beer. Actually,
So which one?
I don't care. Whatever. I've had them both. I actually think this one's better.
I've had them both too. And
I personally think it's
no,
better.
I have not had this one, so we'll start with that.
Oh, I personally think it's better of the two. But so we left there and went to our favorite place in my wife's actual favorite brewery, like I think in the entire world,
Burning Barrel.
Burning Barrel. And the weirdest thing happened. They had no hazy / foggy IPAs on tap.
Which is a little strange.
They were
Ooh,
known
smells really
for
good.
their IPAs. That was like their thing. They're hazy. They call them foggy. I think no, they call them cloudy. I think.
They call them cloudy. Foggy is
Foggy is humble sea.
Humble
I think.
Sea, yeah.
You know.
You should be right up 3.8.
So we go there, right, and there's none of them on tap, which is weird. So I got like a half pour of a West Coast and a half pour of like one of their sours. They had like one. They had one of their sours on tap. Apparently, they're just doing a big beer release in like a week or two.
Yes, they were supposed to be doing something really big.
So they're sort of clearing out the pipes or whatever.
Yeah.
They just have less stuff right now, which sucks for us. But they get a bunch of stuff you can get in cans. We walked out of there with 7 4-packs and a little 3-bottle set. So you didn't get all that right because I didn't give you any of the sours. But you got half of every IPA they had. We literally walked out with one of everything they had. Then we went to Flatland. We walked out of there with one of like every IPA or sour they had.
Mm-hmm.
2.
It's a busy day.
Oh, with a log off. We walked out of log off with one of every IPA or sour they had. So I think.
That's a.
No, we
busy day.
did. There was only 4 I think at log off though.
This smells really good too.
Yeah, it was just cases after cases of beer. I think this is actually great. I just think this is a really, really good beer.
That's actually way more crushable, way less hop forward than I would have thought. It's very easy drinking,
Yeah, I
and
think
especially for 7.2. I wouldn't think that's very tasty.
I think it's legitimately like super. It's actually one of the better IPAs I think I've had like in a long time.
It's one of the better beers we've had from
fond of this
Academic.
beer.
They
Very,
make
very
good beer, and this is outstanding.
Just in general, IPAs in general actually is one of the better ones I've had in like a long time. I just think the flavor on it's
I'll
very,
agree
very
with you.
crushable. There's enough hop there that you get that bitterness. You get that hop, so it's not
Yep.
drinking a blonde.
Yep.
But like it's not doing anything like weird. It's just
Yeah. How many IBUs?
36.
Okay,
It's
that's
low.
it's low,
probably
but
why, but
it's a great blend of malt, hops, flavor, color. This is an outstanding beer. Outstanding beer. But you know, like I said, we've talked about Epidemic many times.
and Brew Hall's good too. We've been to Brew Hall.
We have been to Brew Hall. We should go
We've been to
back.
Brew Hall people.
Actually, we'll probably have to go in June.
We likely will end up there in June. We'll be near it.
We'll be near it.
We'll be
So
in the same town.
we'll be we'll
Are invites out for that yet? Because the wife's like, have we been invited yet?
I don't know. That's not my decision. As far as I know, they're out.
I mean, we got to save the date. I think.
Yeah, I think they're out. That's a I don't know.
I don't know if we got an invite though.
No. I'll find out.
I was like, where even is it at? I was like, I don't know. I was like, I'm pretty sure we're invited though, so it's fine.
Yes, we had that conversation. If you got to save the date, you have to be invited. I'm not allowed to uninvite people who got to save the dates. Remember, we had this.
I mean, it's rude. It's rude. It's rude to do that.
Yes.
No, we walked out with so much beer the other
That's a
day.
lot of
Like,
beer.
it was a lot of beer. But I mean, I was gonna split. Like, so everyone on the West Coast, I split with you.
Right.
And then basically all the sours, we ended up with 4 times 2 is 8, right?
Yes.
So 8 different sours, something totally
Wow.
ludicrous.
That's a lot of sour.
I know. So I'm taking like basically that like half of the sours to this poker thing. So
Oh, okay.
roughly the equivalent of like 4 4-packs. So that's 16 beers.
16
Oh, that's only 4. That's 8. Yeah, that's 8. 8 different beers because I'm
Four
bringing 2 of
packs
each.
if you did 2 of each.
Yeah. So, yeah, 8 beers. So I'm bringing that to this poker thing because some of the guys are interested in some sour beers. And like,
Cool.
I've never been to this poker group or anything like that before. And whatever. I spent $100 to buy some beer. And I'm sure I'll get $100 worth of other stuff from them. But, other people are bringing beers. People are bringing Russian beer, like that. Honestly, it's really not a big deal if they're cool and I end up like playing poker like out there more often or whatever. Just
Right. Exactly. I mean, that's what it is.
It's
Right?
$100, whatever.
Well, and, chances are you don't. It's rare that you walk away from those things that not up a little bit.
Yeah, this group should be pretty good. But yeah, I mean, I'm fortunate to be able to say like whatever. It's $100, I guess.
Yeah, no.
No, I mean not after this fucking week. I mean, dogs. Yeah.
Oh, dogs. Well, so my wife's at home doing taxes. I didn't want to think about what that's going to look like.
Oh, taxes aren't that big a deal. You know what? This is my problem with people and their problems with taxes. All right, you know you're gonna owe, right? So
Yes.
don't get all mad because the government gets their money. All right, because
No.
the government does get their money. Like
Yes.
it feels like you're getting a big tax bill, right? But that's because you are paying your taxes like you're supposed to throughout
No,
the year.
but I am.
No, you're apparently not, or else you would have a fucking tax bill.
No, see, when they changed the tax tables, they completely screwed me.
Yeah, me too. But they
Me.
really screwed you. But yeah, but you
We're
still,
both filing single zero. That's what we're claiming.
You
We're
can
both
take
claiming
additional
single
though.
zero.
You
I
can
know,
do
but,
the math.
but I
There
don't
are
want
fucking
to
worksheets.
But they shouldn't have to be worksheets.
Oh,
The
no,
fucking tables should be a little more correct.
That's a different discussion, and you're correct. The truth is that our entire American tax system is stupid. They know how much money they want. Why don't they just send me a fucking bill for it?
Right.
Do I really have to go through this random filing shit? Like, give me a break. Like, it's dumb. You shouldn't have. You know what? You don't have to do that everywhere else.
And it's funny too, because even if you do and you do it wrong, they send you a bill, and if you don't, they send you a bill. So just fucking send me the bill. Why make me do it?
Right, you know how much you expect from me. Just tell me, and I can like dispute. I guess.
And you're getting all the other forms too, right? Like you're getting the 1099s, you're getting the W-2s, you're getting they have all the shit.
They're getting all that stuff from me. The only thing they're not getting is whatever like special write-offs you have, like
like if you have individual write-offs,
business write-offs, stuff like that. Yeah. There's some stuff that requires you to file, I guess, but like. You can just send everyone a bill and then
but
they
only
can
if you're
file all that other
self-employed
stuff.
or have some other source of
Well, you can
income.
well, you can deduct donations, for example. Not every donation is reported directly to IRS. Just an example. That's another example. It doesn't come up a lot, right? But the people it does come up with where their donations are actually affecting the actual bottom line of their taxes, like they're paying most of their taxes anyway.
Yeah.
So, but they could just send you a bill. It's dumb.
Good. I agree.
It's dumb. Like
I agree.
you can dispute it. You can say, oh yeah, you
missed this, you missed that.
This is some more deductions. Can we take this much off? And they'd be like, yeah, okay, sure. But no, they got to run through this rigmarole. It's honestly, it's stone cold capitalism.
Yeah.
Right. TurboTax is the worst, man.
That's what we use.
I don't use TurboTax. I stopped using it. I started using free tax a few years ago. My taxes are good. Are not super complicated. But the problem with Intuit's TurboTax is they're like the people who lobby the government for like making it more simplified. Like there are companies making money off the Americans that are going to do their taxes, and those money that they're making are then lobbying the fucking government to like make it so taxes aren't easier. Like,
correct.
Fucking that is so fucking America.
Well, what happened to the postcard, right? Trump promised us a postcard to do our taxes.
Fucking America. Like, dude, capitalism is fucking out of control.
And well, like you said, it is. It's those companies lobbying to not make it easier for the American people, so that they have to buy those products or use CPAs and accountants and lawyers. Fucking lawyers.
All right, two people. Well, one person's watching. Just me. Me and you probably. We're watching yourself. It's fine. If anyone else joins in, I'll just record this.
I'm watching. I'm checking out to see if anyone comments.
I'm just trying to get our numbers up.
Yes.
Yeah, it's kind of like cheating.
Sort of. So.
I don't know.
What else to talk about?
There's the most interesting thing of the week. Actually, there's a couple things. First one. Apparently, last night in Dadefield or something.
Dadefield.
Some city in Alabama.
Okay.
City of 3,000 people.
This is gonna go bad.
City of 3,000 people. Mass shooting last night. Apparently, somebody shot up a 16-year-old girl's birthday party.
I have not heard this.
4 dead, I think. 6
I
wounded.
this one.
Yeah, town of 3,000. So there's a pretty good chance that everybody knows the people who were dead.
Probably.
And probably the person who shot them.
Probably.
So yeah, that was the.
I did not see that.
There's 4 shootings last night, actually, or yeah, over the weekend so far. Like last night, basically, there's already been like 4 shootings with multiple dead, like this year, multiple dead. But not mass. It's like 2. A lot of like 2 to 3.
Oh, okay, all right.
It's not like mass, but still, I guess that's pretty bad. Like it's a small town to have like someone shoot up a 16-year-old girl's birthday party.
Well, and what the fuck are you doing shooting up? I mean, what? I mean, granted, I can't think of a valid reason to shoot up anything. But a 16-year-old's party? Like,
well, I mean, you might just mind like the music, so you could shoot up a gay nightclub, I guess. Right? That's how it works.
That is true.
Maybe you're just really into electronica.
I'm not.
I'm
not that much not into it, but
there you go.
I'm not. No, I don't like electronica or is it EDM or I don't even know what I'll call it.
Yeah. So that's good. That's really not much to talk about on that. It's just pretty much more of the same.
Pretty much, yeah. More of America.
Yeah.
And then Florida.
What if Florida
their
now?
6-week abortion ban?
Oh yeah. Florida, their 6-week abortion ban. The best part of their 6-week abortion ban is that girls who are raped have to prove it.
It's bad to laugh at, but that is the most ridiculous thing you could put into a sentence. So you were raped. Prove you were raped.
You have to prove it. You have to provide the paperwork to prove that you were raped or incest, which is not technically rape, but might be rape. It's very confusing.
Well, no, I mean...
I think you're both over 18. It's not rape, but it's still incest.
That
Unless,
is
of course, you weren't consenting.
That's right.
And then obviously it's rape.
Right.
It's not, you have to prove apparently you're a victim of rape or incest in order to abort.
How do you
in Florida?
How does one prove
ban?
Like filing criminal charges? Filing a police report. Does the police report count if you don't know your assailant? Does that count? If you were date raped, mean, do you have to name the guy?
I want to pretend like the answers to these questions exist, but we both know damn well that the answers to these questions don't exist because Florida doesn't want them to exist.
No, Florida doesn't want them to.
They don't really care. So yeah, they did that. That is new. That was new.
Yeah, that was a new one.
Yeah, he signed that while campaigning in Philadelphia while Fort Lauderdale flooded or something, right?
Yep.
So,
Yep. Because
You know,
he needs to be president. Well, and then
well, Fort Lauderdale's flooding. Why would you stay there? I'd move too. Like Ted Cruz, he went to Cancun when Texas didn't have any power. I don't blame him.
no, I'd get the fuck out.
Yeah.
But I would get the fuck out. I'm still trying to.
I do it low. I do it way more low key though. But you know.
Right. I wouldn't broadcast that I was leaving.
Yeah, I do it way more low key when I abandoned my state in trouble. But I mean, that's just me.
I mean, it's Texas, isn't it always in trouble? Kind of. Somehow.
Mostly. I mean, if not the water or the power, they've got their own power grid, and apparently it's a shiny beacon and example for the rest of America because they're not tied to our power grid, except their power goes out more than everyone else's.
Yeah, that is a good one.
Turns out shared infrastructure works.
Yeah, yes, yeah. It turns out interstate cooperation.
Yeah, so Florida did that. What else? Florida's done. That was the big thing in Florida.
That was the big thing in Florida. Yeah.
Yeah. The other big stuff for the last week was on Nashville. Obviously, it was pretty big.
Yeah.
They expelled the 2 senators who have both already been reinstated.
Yes, that is the best part of that story is one of them. I didn't see about the other one. One of them, it was unanimous. Mm-hmm. The board that got to reappoint them, unanimous.
Actually, they were both unanimous, but the 7 Republicans simply did not show up to one of the votes.
Okay. So the other one had like 16 votes, and I don't know. Again.
Yeah, the other one I think was like a 21-person board or something like that. It was like kind of a biggish board, but like something like almost half of the Republican representatives just didn't fucking show up to vote. So it was unanimous because people who showed up voted yes.
Yeah.
But nobody showed up to vote no.
Well, I mean, that's still unanimous.
That's right, it is.
It
is honestly the best part about that story for me. Is one, they took these 2 like junior black state Congress people, right, and just like who are both like who both are very good in speeches. Like their speeches so far, the reports are very, very good.
No, yes.
It basically gave them their own national profile.
Right. Yeah.
They couldn't have bought this kind of national profile.
No, they did it. They're like, you're grandstanding. You're making this about you, so we're going to punish you for that. Okay, and you did. You literally put them on CNN and MSNBC, and they were also on Fox News, maybe not in the best light, but literally became household names.
And then you don't expel the white girl just to put like a fucking straight up stamp on it.
Yeah, that was probably my favorite part.
I mean, to be fair, she was like, they were like, oh no, what she did wasn't as bad as what they did, I guess, because she may not have carried a sign or something. There was some minutia involved with people who like justified the vote difference.
Right.
But, yeah, it wasn't as bad as what they did. You're like, that's because like she's not an uppity black person. Like that's why it's not as bad.
I'm thinking so. That's what she said.
Yeah.
She flat out came and said, what's the difference between the 3 of us? Why don't you take a look and tell me?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the color
of my skin. Yeah.
I don't know. So
yeah.
So so it's funny here, right? So they do this, right? So what's going to happen is now there's going to be a special election.
Right.
That's going to cost cash-strapped fucking Tennessee $2 million for no reason at all.
Yes, it is.
And as a new member of Congress, because they're both now new members of Congress, of the state Congress, apparently they get to submit 15 bills each.
Again?
Yeah.
Nice.
So they apparently are just going to submit 15 different gun control bills each.
Oh, I love it.
Just to get them voted down.
I love that plan.
Not at all or whatever. But
that sounds great.
They're new members now. So.
Well, yeah, they are new members because they just got voted in.
Yeah, so they get to do that now. So yeah, that was a shit show.
And if they each get to do 15, if they don't co-sign any of the other ones, they can really submit 30.
Yeah, that whole thing is insane. It's just such an obvious miscalculation from the Tennessee GOP. Like,
yes,
they thought they were going to be like strong-armed, like you can't be doing this shit, and then it just ends up looking terrible. Like, I mean, granted, the people on the right, like maybe not, but like anyone, the problem is the people on the right are fucking gone anyway. So who gives a shit?
Yeah,
you don't have to do anything to get the people on the right on your side.
No,
you just don't. Like, they're just gonna be there, whether or not you're.
Unless you drink Bud Light.
Yeah.
If you drink the Bud Light, then the people on the right don't like you.
If you drank in the past, it was cool. You can't drink it now.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right. No. Yeah. No. You have to. I was thinking about that as I was on my run today, and I'm like, isn't that cancel culture?
Yeah.
Yeah?
There's a lot of
Am I
cancel.
wrong?
Actually, the most cancel culture typically does come from the right these days. I think.
That's what I thought so too. I'm like, you get pissed off when people say we need to boycott or ban Chick-fil-A or Hobby Lobby, right? But it's okay to shoot Israel. It's okay to shoot up a giant case of Bud Light. Did you see that one?
I didn't see him shoot a case of Bud Light, but it does not surprise me. I did see one about a dude dumping out bottles of Jack Daniel's whiskey or something.
Some Jack
I hadn't seen that
Daniels
one.
protest thing.
Oh, I
It's
didn't see
pretty
that one.
weird.
Yeah, no, it was Kid Rock shot up a bunch of Bud Light.
Oh, good. There, I love pictures of Kid Rock. He's chilling with drag queens. That's hilarious.
That is pretty funny.
Kid Rock's sort of a fascinating sort of thing. Though.
He is.
He's like straight like upper middle class white dude whose
Yep.
parents own like car dealerships.
Yes.
You're just like, okay, dude, whatever.
Yes, he was not from the hood.
It's just like whatever, dude. Now he's just this weird guy. It's just I don't even know. Like the Bud Light. That's a really good tangent. The Bud Light thing is ludicrous. Like
It is.
they sent a commemorative can to a trans person.
Yes, that's all they
didn't
did.
They didn't make it for sale.
Nope.
You couldn't buy special boxes of trans cans of Bud Light.
Nope.
They were just like, trans person, you exist. You know what? Yeah, I have a special can of beer.
Just for you.
We ran an entire label thing for you. Here's a label can of beer. Put it on your shelf.
That's it. That's it. That's all they did.
That is
Didn't-
it.
Didn't
One
give
day
that
maybe
person,
you can sell it for $1,000.
didn't give them any money. Didn't sponsor anything. Didn't do anything. Just literally said, "We support you being a person." And
I didn't even hear
People
about it until
lost
people
their
got crazy.
shit.
I didn't even hear about it until they
Right.
got crazy either.
I didn't-
I wouldn't even have known.
it was.
I don't even know who Dylan Mulvaney is.
I don't know. I didn't even know that one. Isn't it Luke Bryan?
No.
Isn't he the big one?
Well, Dylan Mulvaney's the trans person.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's. I don't know who that is at all.
You're like, I don't even,
I don't even know the name of the person.
I don't either.
Like,
I bet the kid knows who it is. Weirdly enough.
my
Probably some
kids probably do
YouTuber.
too. It's probably also true. But yeah, I mean, like, you know, you don't. You
Oh,
do
country
nothing
artists are
about
the
it.
worst right now.
No.
Not that's not fair. That is an incorrect statement. Actually, there are some country artists who are the worst. Like John Rich, for example, is pretty bad. There are some great ones
Isn't it
though.
Luke Bryan. was
Luke
the big
Bryan, I
one?
think, has some
He
issues.
replaced all of his. He replaced all of the beer on his tour.
That was Travis Tritt. I
Oh,
think.
Travis Tritt. You're right. Travis Tritt. Travis Tritt. Yeah, yeah. yeah.
Kelsey Ballerini though, shout out to her. She's awesome.
I don't know who that is.
Kelsey Ballerini is a country artist. She was the one who was just like really mad about the drag queen thing, like as people should be. And she was like in Tennessee, and she was like, "Fuck you guys! Like if I want to bring my kid to a drag show, I fucking will." She's like, "You want to come arrest me? Come arrest me!" Like while she was on stage in Nashville or something. It was slightly more complicated, but that was basically it. She was just like, "Fuck you guys."
Yeah, I
All right, hop girl shit.
hot girl
Altamont.
shit. By the way, this is supposed to be some famous singer chick like Cardi B or something. I don't know.
It could be a Cardi B.
I
Song.
don't know who it is. Anyway,
It's a cool art. I think it's cool art.
celebrating our badass hop girls that bust their shit around our brewery day in and day out, featuring the Pink Boots Blend. That's what this one says. That one said something else. We didn't read it. And this one's only 6%, brewed on March 23rd. So not
I
that
guess we can read this. This annual tropical juicy IPA is brewed in collaboration with the lady bosses at Epidemic Ales and Brew Hall Brewing and other badass lady bosses from across the bay. Did you know both Epidemic Ales and Brew Hall Brewing are women-owned small businesses?
I did.
We put on our pink brew boots and work tirelessly every day to produce awesome independent craft beers. Lady
They
Boss
do.
IPAs, always hippity hopped with the extra special pink boots hop blend from Yakima Chief Hops. So, there, that was your whole story on this one.
That was the whole story.
That was it. No, that one's funny though. The Bud Light thing is
The
funny.
Bud Light thing is hysterical. I just
People
think
get
it's hysterical.
so weird.
And again,
Like,
it's
just
it's,
acknowledging that person even
that's
exists.
all they did. That's all they did. Just acknowledge they exist. That they are a human being who does something. 'Cause I don't even, like you said, I don't even know what they do. I don't know who they are. I don't know why they're famous. I don't know why they got a
I
special
suspect
can.
they're a streamer of some kind. That's just a guess.
That would make some sense. But yeah, no, it makes it. I don't get it, you know. And realistically speaking, you're talking about banning shitty beer anyway, so I'm not really upset about it.
Yeah.
Although now I do kind of want to buy some Bud Light just to be like, you know.
I mean, if they put out a special trans can, I'd probably buy
If they put out a trans can, I will buy one. I will buy it.
Like if they put out the Mulvaney can in like a 12-pack, I'd pick up a 12-er.
Me too.
I'd sit here and drink it on a show too. So this could be on my YouTubes.
I'd have it on.
It's gonna be on my YouTubes.
I'd have it on display.
You know. So that was the English news. So that was I guess Clarence Thomas happened. Clarence Thomas actually just keeps happening, as it turns out. It's not that he
Yes.
happened. It's just that
No.
like every day there's a new really
There
bad
is a
Clarence
new,
Thomas.
and this one
Today?
is no. Well, I didn't see today. Today
Oh.
there was another one today.
Well, what was yesterday's?
The other day was the house.
Oh, there's one newer than the house.
I hadn't heard this one either.
Yeah, there's one newer than the house. All right, so let's go back to Clarence Thomas. So for those of you who are watching this video in the future, who hopefully by this point Clarence Thomas has either resigned or been deposed, or you know, something else that happens to old people who are overweight. You know, but in the future, because no one's watching us right now. So in the
Right.
future, if you watch this, here was a recap on the Clarence Thomas thing, right? So it turns out there was a report, and what was happening was that for years he was just getting like
Luxury shit.
free vacations
Yeah.
and shit from a rich billionaire donor.
Right.
Basically, Harlan Crow, who apparently has a weird set of Nazi statues. I don't know. It's weird. The Harlan Crow story is a whole weird tangent. The problem is that when he first started as a Supreme Court justice, he was reporting these trips and these sorts of things.
Correct.
And then apparently he asked some contemporaries, and they were like, "Nah, don't report it,"
Correct.
because people were like, "Why are you getting all these special trips and shit?" So he was like, "Well, fuck you guys, and I just won't report it."
Don't report it.
So as it turns out, if you just don't report a thing, that doesn't mean it didn't happen.
That is
Yeah.
absolutely
So,
true.
yeah, so a bunch of, I guess, Harlan Crow's ex-employees sort of ratted him out.
Oh, is that what
This is
happened?
where it came from a little bit. There's probably some research, but they were talking like old airplane pilots and like old fucking yacht workers and shit, like confirming that homie was there for all
Yep.
this stuff. So he was
Yep.
getting like free flights. I mean,
Yep.
like free other. I mean, that's honestly, if you're like worth $5 billion, like you can free flight the shit out of two people wherever the hell you want for everything all the time.
Pretty much. You wouldn't even notice it.
You wouldn't notice it even a little. He did never have a court case specifically in front of the
Right.
court that I've heard, but that doesn't
That-
really mean shit, right? Because the truth is, like, if you're a billionaire and you're taking your Supreme Court Justice fucking Uncle Tom with you, like, it just feels like he's probably hanging out with other billionaires who probably are tangentially related to places that do, in fact, have court cases. So there could have been some hobnobbing.
Or a friend of a friend,
Could have been some
right? Like,
hobnobbing.
hey, Clarence, I don't have this case, but I got this buddy,
I feel like it's
Jim over here.
basically impossible. You never ran into some people who had cases before him, but they'll never come out specifically. But it feels like it's
No.
basically impossible in those circles. Some of the bigger ones,
Yeah,
Citizens
I-
United is probably a great example where I bet you,
Citizens United
I
is the
bet
big
a
one.
good amount of money that like some motherfuckers that were behind or in Citizens United, like, were probably also chilling at some billionaire retreats.
I would, yeah, that wouldn't surprise
We don't know
me
for
in the
sure,
least.
and I'm not trying to say it definitely happened, but fuck that guy. So whatever.
Where there's smoke, there's fire.
So that was the first thing, right? Just
Okay,
luxury
got that
trips.
one. Like, first it was luxury trips.
I believe the second
Which
thing was
I was kind of like, even that, I'm like, like you said, like this is pocket change even for a Supreme Court justice. Like
it's shitty. He shouldn't do it, but at the same
Yeah.
time, like if I was a Supreme Court justice and like this billionaire who, as it turns out, apparently he might actually really be friends with,
right.
wants to take him and his lunatic ass fucking traitor wife out to some bomb parties and shit. Like, I mean, I wouldn't
say no.
Fuck, dude, I'm a liberal and I wouldn't say no.
I wouldn't say no.
I'd be like, fuck yeah, dude. Let me
That's
check out your cool Nazi statues while I check out your yacht, right? Like, give me a fucking break, right? I mean, look, I'm for sale.
We have established that.
I'm not
Everyone's
fucking
got a
lying.
price.
I'm not even fucking lying, all right? Just saying, like,
It's like $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase said.
Like, I
Everyone's
sorta-
got a price.
like I sort of get it, right? Like, especially if you're cool. Like, if you and your
Right.
wife and him and his wife or whoever
Right,
his
right, if
new
you're
model
chilling,
girlfriend is or whatever,
right,
just straight
yeah.
chilling, you're having a good time. Like,
Yeah.
the dude
If you're
doesn't
boys.
care. The dude does not care that he flew you on his private jet with them to
Nope.
the new place. Like, he doesn't care.
Not at all.
So that part I get. He has to report them though, just so we know in case the case does come up.
He should be reporting
It's
them for that
sketchy
exact
anyway.
reason, yes.
But it's a weird spot where like we pay Supreme Court justices like a some amount, right? Like a decent amount, not like a lot, but like a decent
A
amount.
couple $100,000.
And they probably could make more in other positions. I would
Well,
think.
but they make a lot from speaking engagements and shit like that. That's where a lot
Which
of
are
it
also
is.
incredibly suspect.
I don't disagree with that.
So that's kind of part of
But
the
you
problem.
but you report that, and it's public. Like it's a speaking engagement. It's not
like say what you want, but like maybe Justice Thomas like speaking at the Citizens United fucking annual conference is kind of suspect. All right,
kind of.
he probably hasn't done that because they brought him an annual conference, but he probably has done. He didn't report it. But so that was the first thing, which is a lot of free trips,
A lot of free trips,
yachts, free
Yachts.
flights,
planes.
probably car rentals, nice house stays, all that. The second one, which you brought up a second ago,
The house.
it's hilarious. It's a house. I guess I don't know.
But it wasn't him.
A couple years ago, like 10, 15 years ago.
Yep.
He sold his childhood home or Harlan Crow bought his childhood home from his mom, I would assume.
Yes.
And then immediately renovated it
Mm-hmm.
and let his really old mom just continue living there.
Correct.
Probably
Thomas's mom
rent
lived
free.
Yeah. Well, they haven't come out and said that, but I don't. It's
What?
That's the implication.
What? You're the one who wanted to come outside. Do you want to be on the show? People like dogs.
People do like dogs.
No? Do you want me to let you in? Do you speak English?
Open the door yourself, dog.
Jeez.
Anyway, so then, yeah. So there was the childhood home, basically giving it back to mom. Although didn't deed it back to mom, but basically gave it back to mom after fixing it all up.
No, I thought he still owned it. I thought
No,
Harlan Crow still owned it.
but like I said, you did transfer ownership, but basically she lived in it
Yeah, he just never kicked her out. He just bought the house and fixed it up, and he was like, "Oh, you're a really good tenant. You should just stay."
Yeah, I guess. We
I
don't
mean,
know.
it seems really nice. I don't know.
It does. It seems pretty generous.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then there's more.
There's more. Yeah, the new one apparently is. I only read headlines on this, so I don't have the deep dive here. But I guess he was reporting income from a real estate firm for the last
Thomas?
15 years. Yeah.
Okay.
Except that firm has been defunct for 12 of them,
Oh.
or something like that. So he's basically been reporting as a portion of his yearly income disclosures that he's getting money from this real estate firm that's actually defunct and does not actually do anything or exist anymore. But he's still reporting income from it on his disclosures.
How do you do that? How do you get income from an entity that doesn't exist?
I guess you just keep writing the same thing to hide where you got that $2 million.
Oh.
I'd have to read the whole article, but there's something along those lines. That's the new one, though.
I haven't seen that
That
one
is the
either.
new one. It's something about a defunct real estate company.
That's strange.
Yeah.
That sounds sketchy as fuck.
Yeah, I mean, it just gets sketchier and sketchier. The
Yeah.
worst part is that, honestly, the worst part is that
Nobody's
that's not true. Liberals care. But the truth is, we hated him before all of this.
Yes. I'm also
Because
not
he's a
sure-
terrible person.
Yes, he's an awful human.
But now he's also corrupt. But at the same time, I think our system sucks. And
I don't honestly know-
I don't really blame him a ton for being corrupt, which is the dumbest part of it all.
I don't. Well, and I don't.
He
I don't know
may
what.
not even be corrupt.
I don't know the mechanisms to get him off the court. I don't know.
Technically, it's
what
only
it
impeachment.
is.
It's straight up impeachment.
Right, but then is it the same rules of
Same rules.
impeachment?
50% vote in the House, 75% in the Senate.
Right, which is
Yeah.
never in a million years going to
Right.
happen.
Right. He has to die or resign.
Right. I mean, he could walk up and shoot somebody in the face, and just like Trump said, and said you're not going to get 75% of the people in the Senate to vote him out.
I mean, he may not be corrupt, but it definitely looks bad.
It's sketchy as fuck.
It looks
And,
bad.
and you're on the highest court in the land. You should be the least sketchy as fuck.
You would think.
Right?
I mean, it doesn't help that his wife is over here, like, talking about how Trump still won the election.
Yeah, that didn't help.
Like, there's just too many things surrounding him. Like, I mean, let's just ignore the fact that he fucking obviously sexually harassed Anita Hill. And
Yeah, I
many
mean,
others.
let's not go back to the uppity lynching or lynching, high class lynching for
Yeah.
uppity black people. That's what
Yeah, sounds right. Yeah,
I don't think that's what it was, but
that's pretty close, I think. Though.
that's what he said.
Well, I mean,
I don't think it's what it was. They basically asked him pretty fair questions, and people got pissed off. I mean, people
Yeah.
carrying the coke and shit like that.
he was a weird dude.
He's a weird dude.
So yeah, that's Clarence Thomas news.
I heard that last one.
I don't think there's a level of stuff that can come out that would ever force him to resign.
No,
No.
not a chance in hell.
I think he should, right? And I think Roberts probably should be forcing him because every day he's on there and more stuff comes out about him. It's going to make the Roberts course look worse and worse and worse and worse. And the reality is at this point, the Roberts court is probably going to go down as probably among the worst courts in the history of the U.S. Like Dred Scott. levels
Like I
of
said,
bad.
they're in Dred Scott territory right now with what some of the things that they're doing. I agree with you. It is terrible.
Right, I think that the idea that the courts are not supposed to sway to the will of the peoples is mostly inaccurate when it comes to stuff like social sorts of issues. I think that if 60% of the nation is okay with a thing, and that thing is okay throughout most of the nation, for example, I think that the court should not be trying to stop that thing.
If 60% of the country is for a thing, but the people in power put in mechanisms to prevent that 60%'s voice from being carried through,
Right.
the court should absolutely have the power to do something.
Right.
And like I said,
That something should be to work what something to make the 60% thing correct, not
Correct.
the 40%.
Exactly, and that's and you can go back to it. It's funny that they point to a couple of things that they'll always talk about for the activist court. You never hear activist court when you're talking Brown v. Board, and you never hear activist court when you talk. Not anymore. You did back then.
Loving Virginia.
With Loving, you don't hear that now. And again, the same exact fucking
That was
thought
activist court
process.
too. Oh yeah.
Loving v. Virginia used the same thought process and analysis that Roe
right?
used.
Yeah.
100%. So if Roe is bad because it wasn't constitutional, then Loving is bad. That's just facts, folks.
So is the birth control one.
Yeah. Oh, that was another one too. Did you hear about that one too?
we know
The
about
Texas court.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about the Mifeprestone.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me get us another beer real quick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I have the collab if you want to do that one.
Oh, let's do it. Yeah, the Mifepresto. Yeah,
Mifepresto.
the text. So basically, the text thing. That guy's a fucking hack.
He is a hack.
So apparently, I read that that dude actually created and wrote an article about the dangers of mifepristone, I guess, and gave it to someone else to submit under their name. So his name was on it. Then he cited his own article.
His own article. Yeah.
In his ruling,
Yep.
saying that an approval from 20 years ago by the FDA was not valid for reasons. Also, apparently,
Safety reasons,
the study he cited, involved only people reporting bad experience with the abortion pill, mifepristone.
It's mifepristone.
Mifepristone from like some sort of like straight up anti-abortion forum.
Correct.
And there was only like 53 posts. And
Yes,
he cited like 48 of the posts and was like, it's like a big deal. You're like, dude.
It was one of those. It was a not very well received, peer-reviewed article. Those are the kinds of things that you're not supposed to be citing when you make a case law. And by the same token, like you said, the word is he wrote one of them.
I legit, I don't even think, actually, this is one spot where I don't even think the Supreme Court can agree with him. I think they're going to have to simply say he's fucking wrong.
Well, I mean, you're calling into question, because if you're going to use that thought process, that some analysis from 20 years ago by the FDA can be questioned 20 years later.
After millions of uses with
Correct.
less than 1% of anything. So,
Right. Like, what are you going to call? What are you going to open up the door to? I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not for slippery slope arguments, but sometimes they're legitimate.
plus, it's dumb anyway. Like,
I mean,
that's the thing,
no, it's just flat out terrible analysis.
like they can sort of
and
wiggle.
Judges shouldn't be getting into medical decisions. That's what the fucking FDA
Right.
is for.
The Supreme Court can wiggle their way to a Roe decision, I guess, right? Which we didn't think they should be able to do, but I knew they were going to get there eventually. But I don't think that they can wiggle their way to saying, oh yeah, definitely this weird activist judge in Texas is ruling declares the entire nation a thing. I don't think that the problem is like
That's the other part is
Roe-
that much he cannot do.
like this is a line, and Roe was like just over that line, right?
Yeah.
But this is like way
Well,
over the next line.
First of all,
You can't do this.
The decisions are only supposed to cover his area. So if he's a district court judge, it covers his district. He cannot make a
Which
ruling.
is most of the southern
that is-
U.S. though, probably.
Right.
Like
right.
Texas,
Texas.
probably
that.
Louisiana.
I think Louisiana is in its own. I think it wraps around. It gets
Okay,
really
yeah.
funky. It gets really funky.
like
But
Texas
that's
New
exactly right.
Mexico,
He cannot issue a ruling that has countrywide, nationwide application. That's not his jurisdiction, in essence. So if nothing else, the Supreme Court should kill it just on that alone.
Yeah.
You don't get to do this. And if they do it, I think that's the way they'll do it, because they don't have to get to the decision. They just talk about
No, yeah, I
procedure.
don't think they want to talk about the decision at all, because the
Right.
problem is that there are no words they can write in their decision that fucking Sotomayor won't absolutely fucking scathingly ravage.
She's so good.
Like her dissent will be fucking brutal,
Yeah.
right? And B, like it just doesn't look good at all. They have to be like, yeah, this guy's wrong. Like what they did was they decided not to take it up. They were like, yeah, the appeals court said no, so we're not going to take it up or whatever. Or they pushed the stay. They did something.
There was a stay in place, and the stay was not overturned.
Yeah.
So
Something like that.
now it's got to go. They're not advancing it because it's not at.
Yeah.
It's not at an appellate court
They're
level.
going to shadow docket, like turn this thing down.
Oh, 100%.
They do not want to make this a thing. Like they're already losing votes they never thought they would lose by overturning Roe.
I hope so.
They lost.
I mean,
They lost the Kansas abortion thing, like
Right.
big, right? They lost Wisconsin. They
Wisconsin.
lost Wisconsin Supreme Court mostly because of this,
Yep.
right? Like so Wisconsin is a Democrat state, if not for gerrymandering,
If
because
not
in
for the
2010,
most disgusting gerrymandering you will ever see.
because in 2010 the Republicans happened to win on the back of the Tea Party, basically, because
Yep.
racism. But whatever. It's just like what, dude.
Yeah, no, I just gotta hope that trend continues. That the big states need to
That was-
fall. Florida needs to fall. Texas needs to fall. That's what needs to happen.
So Florida and Texas are mostly fucked here, because I think that neither one of them are going to like go Democratic, because all the people who are into these things are moving there. Like Texas, Florida, and Idaho are just going to
Idaho.
become
Oh my God.
strongholds. Idaho's a fucking straight abortion police state right now, or it's on its way to being like an abortion police state.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, don't get me started on my Idaho thoughts, because I'm going to offend a lot of people.
Yeah, me too. You don't want to know.
Yeah, and a lot of them I know, so it's even worse.
Yeah. We shouldn't talk about it.
Well, actually, I don't know a lot of them, but like I definitely know a few people I'll probably offend.
I will offend a lot of people.
Well, I'll offend a lot of people, but I only
will
know a
offend-
few of
I
the
will
ones I'm
offend-
offending.
I will offend a lot of my family, but when my family goes to the opening of a play in a Let's Go Brandon T-shirt, I don't mind offending them.
Yeah,
That's,
Idaho. Yeah, we actually never talk about Idaho on this thing. Idaho's a weird spot. Apparently, it's the nation's capital for white supremacists.
It is.
Just putting that out there.
And malicious.
Just putting that out there.
Yes.
Also, very anti-abortion
Very anti-abortion.
and very Mormon, actually.
Well, there is a BYU Idaho.
Which is weird because I actually don't think the Mormons are. This is a weird statement I'm going to make right now. The Mormons are not the least not the most progressive of the active churches that are making political decisions. The Mormons are actually leaning on the progressive-ish side
Right.
of
If
the
you're,
religious
when you're
right.
comparing them,
Yeah, of
right,
the
when
religious
you're comparing
right.
them,
Yeah.
they're not.
I'm not mad at the Mormons right now. Is what I'm saying.
No, I mean, I think the Mormon Church learned a lesson here in California with Prop 8. I
Prop
really
8.
do. I think they learned a big lesson that it's like, wait a minute, we put all this money into this shit, and it got blasted, and we got blasted. And if you've noticed, ever since then, the church is really low key. It's not that they're not spending money here and there, but
They have
are
so much
not-
money.
No, I mean, other than maybe the Catholic Church, and it might even be a competition now because but you don't hear
Catholic Church got all that land though.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's
well,
probably
the
not a
jewels,
competition because all the land.
and the jewels.
But the land matters.
Yeah,
more,
the
though.
land. The land is a huge thing.
Yeah.
100%.
No, Idaho. Yeah, Idaho. Yeah.
Yes. So it is.
Whenever I know someone, they're like, "Oh, my friend moved to Idaho." I think, cool. I hope they really like it. I'm never
Ooh,
going
this
there.
smells really good.
Never fucking going there, guys.
It's on my. It is like I said. I'm still kind of on the fence about my trip to Florida. Like,
I assume they have good potato chips.
I would assume so.
Sorry, I
I
might go
want
for
some.
that.
I want some French fries.
I might go for that.
But yeah, so, but I've decided that I'm gonna go. I'm gonna fucking do it up right. So I'm gonna have pro-choice T-shirts and rainbow shirts and ally pins everywhere I go. And my mother-in-law is like, maybe you should be a little understated. I'm like, yeah, you know me better than that. No, I'm not gonna go understated.
Oh, I understand. Dude, the other day I went to track meet, to the track meet or whatever the other
Right,
day,
track me.
and I was rocking like a rainbow hat. I was rocking like my
Rainbow hat.
love hat or something, right?
Right.
And the kid's like, "Oh yeah," my friends were like, "Hey, your dad was like wearing a pride hat."
Is your dad gay?
Right, and the kid is like, "Yeah, it's cool." And friends are like, "That's really cool. Like, that's cool." And so the kid tells us, and I was like, "Okay." I mean, like I sort of wore it on purpose, but like I didn't really think it was gonna be like a thing. I thought it was like a silent-y statement, right?
Right.
And they were like, "Yeah, well, some of their Arabs are not like as supportive." And I was like, "I mean, cool, I guess, right? Like everyone should be."
Well, I
supportive,
mean,
but,
and
you
that
know,
was that's
it's kind of
one
weird.
of
It's just like throw a little. Sometimes you just gotta throw that out there. Like it looks like I just have a hat that says love on it. Right? I also have
Right.
like a bunch of like Pride beer shirts. Like
Right.
you just gotta rock those sometimes.
And
So,
I've got my San Francisco
I'm
Giants pride hat.
I know
I've
we
got
rocked,
my
we, rocked
Star
them, we
Wars.
rocked them last week. I
Right.
know.
I've got my Star Wars pride shirt.
Yeah.
The kids, I have talked to them about it, and it's one of those things where they gave me a pin, so I'm assuming they want it
Yeah.
out there
I just
that
rock
I
it.
support them, and so I do. I'm just like,
I just
hey,
rock it, yeah.
and I always wear one in court. I've got a little one that I wear in court.
Yeah.
On purpose. I don't know if I ever told this story. There was a guy who lost it over my.
Oh, I think I've heard. I think you probably told me on the show though.
So I have a little ally pin that my kids gave me, and I wear it to court because I want anybody who's there to know, especially if they're kids, or I had a situation where I represented a lady whose child was transgender, and the father wouldn't accept it at all. So I had my little ally pin, and he was not happy with me at all. So it was. So I wear that just so that they all know that I'm out there supporting him, and I think it's for that exact reason. That there could be another kid out there whose parents or family may not be supportive, and to know, wait a minute, here's somebody we can go to, or here's a kid, right? Like, hey, if their dad is cool, then I can talk to this kid, and I know I'm not going to get judged.
You have to throw out like that. You have to throw out that little.
I agree.
That little flag, I think sometimes, just
Mhm.
in case anyone out there who needs to know, like whatever, we're all cool. Like it's all good. Like right, I don't know. I mean, it's a weird tangent, but
It is a danger.
Thanks
but
to Idaho.
We were there. Well,
Yeah.
thanks to Idaho and Florida.
no. So Florida, you were talking about how you want Florida and Texas to sort of switch order. Like Texas had a shot.
Texas had a shot this last time.
At switching a little,
Yeah.
mostly because they kept a lot of tech companies keep moving out there.
Yes.
So you end up with a lot of people moving to Texas. What's going to happen in Texas is that in the future, inevitably, probably, because I just feel like inevitably the reality is conservatives are dying and not really being replaced at the rate at which they die. The
No.
attrition rate is simply
The
higher.
attrition rate, yeah.
But you keep moving tech people into Texas, but they almost all live in Austin or
Right.
the cities, like
They-
mostly
they-
Austin, frankly.
Right. They're gonna end up.
So Austin will
gerrymandering
inevitably
the
be
fuck
like
out
be
of
one of the
Texas,
bigger cities, right? And it'll be a weird state with like a Democrat senator and a Republican senator depending on the year.
Yep.
The governorship may switch, but it's gonna have a bunch of fucking Republican congressmen.
Yes, and it'll be a lot like I think a lot like
Wisconsin, I guess.
well, I'm gonna say it's kind of the same thing with Florida, like the big cities
Right.
left as hell. I mean, Miami is not exactly.
Well, actually, that's
ultra-conservative.
changing now, though. Is the problem?
I know.
Yeah, that's actually changed. Actually, that's the problem. The problem with Florida and Texas have different issues, right? Texas's issue is that like liberals are moving there,
Right.
and it is actually becoming more blue, and it's going to become purple inevitably, just because
Right.
there's a big tech industry there.
Right.
And the truth is, young people are not conservative.
Nope.
Like they're mostly, and not because they're not into conservative ideas. It's because they're not into hate. They don't want
Yes.
to support
No,
people who
it's-
think that you shouldn't be able to control your own body or love who you want. Or any of
It is
those
those
sort of
things.
things. Those are
Yes.
things that
It is
matter, I
those
think,
things.
to
Yep.
conservatives.
Absolutely.
They might actually still believe in trickle-down economics. They probably don't, but they
And
probably
I know they believe in lower taxes.
Honestly, but they probably still believe in lower taxes, right? And they probably believe that. Honestly, I think most of the young people who believe in low taxes also believe maybe we should cut some budget, like I don't know, from our fucking war machine. But that's a guess.
That's a guess.
I'm both not young nor. No, I'm just not young. There was something else, but whatever. Who cares?
No, you're liberal, but
I'm liberal, definitely liberal. But so Texas, that issue, Florida's issue is actually that it's becoming more conservative,
Yes.
and not because of people moving there. It's because Latin people are just like really into strongmen, and strongmen who hate strongmen who espouse that they hate communism / fascism.
correct.
Not necessarily they do hate them.
And are ultra religious.
It's a weird. So
It
it's a
is.
weird that. So they have very, very different sort of trajectories going on. Like Florida's gonna be blue, or not
Yes.
blue, red. Florida's
No,
gonna be
Florida's
red.
going to stay red. Yeah.
Texas is gonna move to purple eventually.
I think so.
Probably 20 years, but they'll eventually get there. Maybe less.
Yeah, maybe less, but it'll all depend on, the realistically speaking, Texas is hurting itself in the politics by having the politics that it has.
They're over pushing
because-
certain things too.
Well,
Yeah.
and they're over pushing certain things, but they're still going to give away tax breaks to big companies to move companies in, have lower income taxes, even though technically, if you look at their active tax rate among everything, they're not as low as they say they
It's
are.
actually fairly
But
similar to
shockingly-
California. It's a little lower, I think. It's
Yeah,
not, overall,
it's not-
including housing.
They,
and all.
they say it's
aside from friends who
significantly
move there.
lower because they look at and they only ever talk about, just like Oregon and other states, they only ever look at income taxes. But if you looked at the total effective tax rate and everything
Property
that you
sales.
pay, property tax, sales tax, licensing
Import
fees,
tax,
and all that kind of
excise
stuff,
tax, yeah.
they're all on par. California is not miles ahead of every place else. So.
Yeah, because I was complaining about that one time, and my friend was like, "No, I moved to Texas." He's like, "Honestly, it is lower." He's like, "I pay less taxes here than I did then." But welcome, Sierra. How you doing?
Hey, you coming up here? There you go.
Sierra's gonna hang out with
Say hi to Sierra.
hang out with Beer Snob. It's cool.
Say hi.
It's cool.
That's Sierra.
That is Sierra. So yes, that's
Beer
what's
showed
happening.
up.
So that thing is super weird. The whole strongman anti-communism thing is super weird.
It is weird.
I don't like this beer that much.
It's way more Altamont than it is original pattern. It's got a lot more dank to it. It's got a lot more. Well, I mean, it is called Drippin' the Green
Yeah, I mean
or Drippin' in Green.
I don't know what an HU 346 hop is. HBC 586 and then Mosaic and Australian Enigma.
Well, HB 586 is what's in this.
Is it really?
Isn't that funny?
I didn't really like that either, though. To be fair.
Wait, so what's in that?
Well, this one I liked.
It's
Though.
the same hop bill. We talk about that.
What? This is a pink. This is a Pink Boots beer.
No, that's a Pink Boots beer. This is a Pink Boots beer. They both have the HBC 586.
Oh, that's part of the build, though.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But this one, I think, if you look at it, they show the dry hop.
The
And I
dry hop's
think-
also all the same. They say dry
Yes.
hop and kettle hop the same thing in
Yes.
both spots. Because the rest of this is fine, like Pilsner Malt.
Yeah, it's fine.
Caracal.
It's not my thing.
It's fine. I'm not a
It's
big
not my
fan of it
thing.
though.
No, it's I much prefer the more fruity hops,
Yeah.
the more tropical hops than I do the danky.
Yeah, I'm not a super. It's not bad, but it's not. I'm not a super huge fan. So
I don't know. Let's see. What else happened? What else happened?
I wouldn't order another
I
glass.
have something else in my mind that I was going to talk about. Oh, I want to ask you a question because Esquire is in your name. It's literally part of your name.
It is part of my name.
There's a new Supreme Court case coming, I guess, about the Sabbath. You read about this one?
And not Black Sabbath.
You
Okay,
read about
I
this
have
one?
not.
Okay, there is a case about to go up to the Supreme Court about some postal worker who I guess was told that he had to work on Sundays. And he's some sort of, I don't know, religious-y thing. And he was like, I cannot work on the Sabbath. And they were like, yeah, bro, like, we need you to work on the Sabbath. Like, so, like, you got to work on the Sabbath. And
So he's claiming a religious freedoms thing?
more or less, yes.
Huh.
So I guess the theory is that, you know, back in the day it was a de minimis thing. So okay, the previous ruling was like, you have to accommodate religious things if it's de minimis, right?
Right.
So it's minimal, like
Right.
minimal
Very,
accommodation,
very,
right?
yeah. The accommodation is insignificant enough that it doesn't
Right.
alter your business or have a significant impact on overall productivity, that
Right.
kind of
So
stuff.
if he wins this case, then that rule is gone, effectively.
There's no way with the current makeup of the court he doesn't win this case.
So if that rule is gone, which means that basically anyone with a, I'm going to guess the term ends up being sincerely held belief, can almost push their individual choices on to businesses to force certain things. And I'll be honest with you,
That's scary.
I really hope the Church of Satan does some cool shit with this one.
That could be a fun one. I do like the Church of Satan's work in Texas after the abortion ban.
Their
That's
abortion
some
stuff is
pretty good
usually great.
Yeah.
Certainly, I really did, in fact, think about starting an after-school Satan club in town for a while, but it didn't come up, so I didn't do it. Mostly because they never let any church groups meet on the school grounds during like regular after-school districts for the kids that I was wearing. Not at my school. They would use them on
No, they
Saturdays
do.
or
That's right. No,
Sundays,
they
but-
do it on the weekends. You're right. You're
Yeah.
right. Not on school days. They do it on the weekends. Yeah,
Yeah.
when students are.
Yeah, I don't
you're
care.
right.
I don't care if you want to use the gym for a fucking church service. I don't give a shit
Yeah,
about that.
I know they did that.
I care if the kids are still at the school and you're bringing them directly to this after-school class.
Wait,
You're
are you
calling
saying,
one thing,
are
it's
you
run by
saying
church
that the school doesn't have a church club, like a Bible study club?
thing. Not that I'm aware of.
Really?
Not that I was aware of it. No, Wickland.
I'll have to look
personally.
into that.
It's possible, but not that I was aware of. So, but the after-school Satan Club is basically just the Satanic Church's way of sort of doing it. It's got coloring. It's an after-school kids club.
Yeah, no, it's just
Coloring, art, like all kinds of fun stuff. And I totally would have done that just for the fucking kicks. God, the Indian people would have been so mad. It'd have been great.
You'd have made a lot of friends.
I know. It would have been
It
awesome.
would, like you posted, it's all your fault. It's
Yeah.
all your fault.
I would have
It
been
is
awesome.
you. It's you.
Yeah, that would have been hilarious. It would have been so good. I ended up doing that though. But I can just imagine if they were just like, oh, well, officially become a member of the Church of Satan, and you can fill out this form, and this will tell you which days you need off for religious observances.
Yeah,
And it turns out they all coincide with really cool holidays.
I was gonna say I don't want. I want Mondays off.
Yeah.
Besides which, isn't there a dispute over the Sabbath?
I actually kind of like
Technically.
Wednesday. There is. I actually kind of like Wednesdays off over Mondays.
I would.
personally.
When I first
If I
was
could
doing
pick, if I could pick.
410s, when I was first doing 410s and I couldn't have
Little
Mondays,
chopper.
it was a 2-day week and a 2-day week. It felt
Yeah,
great.
2,
It was
1, 2,
nice.
2,
Yes,
that's
it
like
felt,
way
it
better,
felt
way better.
great. But I mean, a 3-day weekend every weekend really feels good too.
I mean, I'm
yeah.
taking like every Friday off until I run out of PTO for a little while. So
Yeah, so
feel you.
that is, but yeah, so that's, I was gonna say, how do we define the Sabbath? Which churches and so does every, then, like you said, sincerely held belief, do they all get to have their Sabbaths? Because
Right.
they all have different
Well, I mean, the
Sabbaths.
Jews get Saturdays off,
Right,
and the evangelicals get Sundays off.
right.
I guess the Muslims get 4 times a day off. I don't know.
Right. Yes. And well,
Yes.
and then what about Jehovah's Witnesses?
I think that they're Sunday.
Are they-
I think
I
they're
thought
they might be Sunday
Sundays.
people.
I
Are they
forget.
Sunday people? Well, they're a Christian sect. They're basically Mormons.
Well, the Mormons would disagree with you, but yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, they were both founded in fucking New Jersey at roughly the same exact time.
Yeah.
And both made up. So I mean, they're basically
By
Mormons.
different guys. Yeah.
I mean, there's really not that much difference.
Well,
If-
no, there is. One has an angel and tablets and salamanders, and the other one has
144,000 people.
Yeah.
Admittedly, the Mormon one is way more enticing.
I
mean,
want to be the god of my own
You get
universe.
your own planet.
Yeah.
And all the women that you marry have to be with you for eternity.
For eternity.
But
Wow.
they only get to marry one dude, but you get to marry as many women as you want. Yeah. Honestly, Joseph Smith knew what he was selling.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did
Yeah,
alright.
he did. He
He's
knew-
alright.
he knew
And there's
his
some
job.
gullible motherfuckers too. He was like, I just go put my head in this hat and I interpret these hieroglyphics. And they're just like, yeah, obviously that's how it works.
These hieroglyphics in America from the Jews.
Who the fuck believes any of this?
I don't know.
And he's literally like, "Don't show anyone else the tablets."
Right. No one has ever seen the tablets.
Actually,
And
that is not true.
And don't mention the salamander.
That's not true.
You're supposed to
No,
mention
the tablet. No, that's not true. More people have seen the tablets. There was a period a little bit later on, before Joseph Smith died, where he took something like 3 people into the woods or something, and supposedly showed them the tablets.
I did not.
Something like that. There was like 3 people that he did show, that he did like some additional stuff for before he died. I think it was the tablets. I feel like it was.
I don't think that's
I feel like there's a couple. So I was listening to a podcast once about this. Let me double check. Did Joseph
The internet's an amazing thing.
Smith show
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of this beer. It's not great.
anyone
There's definitely better
tablets?
offerings from Original Pattern. We do like Original Pattern, obviously.
See, I see. I was right. Joseph Smith showed the plates to Christian Whitmer, Hiram Page, Jacob Whitmer, Joseph Smith Jr., Peter Whitmer Jr., Hiram Smith, John Whitmer, and Samuel A. Smith in the Testimony of 8 Witnesses, the Book of Mormon. He did show it to 8 people. I mean, his literal 8 closest fucking friends. So why would they lie? And also, they were all real high up in the church and had multiple
I
wives.
was going to say they all benefited from the new rules.
Brigham Young probably would have been in this fucking list if you were there around earlier, but I mean, really,
Yeah, he went around that early.
really, that dude was basically a warlord. So I mean, whatever.
Brigham Young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that dude was a spread the faith by the sword kind of dude.
Yes, he was not a swords to plowshare kind of guy. No. What else to talk about?
What else came up? This week? Let's see here. We got them shootings. Did anything fun and happy this week? No, sorry. It's Americans. Nothing
No.
fun or happy.
I can't think of anything fun. No super great movies have come out yet. I think they're all coming out.
We started John Wick at the house. We've watched John Wick 1 and 2.
Oh, those are good. My kid loves those.
Yeah, we watched
kid
them.
loves them from John Wick.
Me, the wife, and the kid. The wife has made it through about a half of each.
I was gonna say, yep.
The kids made it through both though.
They're good. They're good.
Good.
Fun.
They're ready to go.
They're just like the thing about John Wick is just turn your brain off and enjoy yourself for 2 hours, and it works.
That's great.
I think they're all great.
It's great. So I think the plan is to watch last and then go to the theater, try to catch John Wick 4, which I think is out now. But
I think it's coming out. I forget.
But that's the goal is to watch that one in the theater. That's the goal.
That one's that I want to see Guardians of the Galaxy in the theater. I watched the new Thor last night, the newer Thor,
It's okay.
and I was
fine.
like,
Gore the God Butcher could have been so much more.
and then that's my whole thing about it
They
was
underused that character.
they underused the character and
Christian Bale.
and played up the camp. If they had gone,
It's because the third one's
one-
campy was so good.
but it was perfect. But it went with the character. Like the God Butcher is not a campy, and like I said, they underutilized Christian Bale. He was great.
They
in that
overused
great
the
role.
Rock guy too. The Taika Waititi's character they overused.
Yeah, they did. The face, I don't understand it, but it was. I was the whole time I kept thinking, no, don't make this campy. This this is getting really serious and really good, and it's going down. And then they start inserting jokes. I'm like, no.
Yeah, the third one was super good because the jokes were good. Like when he starts the whole thing, like hanging upside down and shit.
Yes.
Right, that's hilarious, right?
No,
like,
that whole setup was good, but again,
when he's like in the arena and stuff, it's all
the
hilarious. Good
antagonist,
stuff.
right?
Yeah.
Even the antagonist was, but like I said, you had this really sad, awful story about very very topical for what we were just discussing about how dude was abandoned by his god, so he starts killing gods. I don't know how you make that campy. That's not
Plus,
campy.
The funny part about this particular story is that they could have done a little more, right? Because he's got the Necro Sword, all black,
Right.
the Necro Sword, right? And 5 years ago, that didn't mean shit.
Nope.
But about 2 years ago, Marvel's big event was an event about a new Null. The new big battle is Null. That was their big event. Was Null.
Right.
Who was the god of the symbiotes?
Hmm.
Did you actually know this already?
I did not.
Okay, so Null is the god of the symbiotes. So the actual story behind All Black the Necro Sword now, they fleshed it out, is that Null is effectively the god of darkness who created
Right.
the first symbiote.
Right.
Symbiotes being Venom,
Right.
Carnage, so on and so forth. The All Black the Necro Sword is the first symbiote he created, so it's actually a symbiote. And that's why it's capable of killing gods. It's kind of part of Null.
And also partially kills you. You're using it, right?
Right. So that was the big summer thing about 2 years ago was the
Right.
Null story. So had they looped a little bit of that in
Mm-hmm.
to the All Black the Necro Sword story, they could have set them up for a phase 3 to be Null, which is
Agreed.
a relatively new big bad
Right.
that involved the
Right. I
entirety
don't
of the
even
Marvel
understand
universe.
what they're doing with Phase 3.
But Gore the
because
God Butcher, they just sort of
threw in.
killed,
Yeah.
and he was a dope character. He killed a lot of gods. Like they did that whole God fucking town thing,
And Gore the God Butcher murdered like a lot of gods.
I know that he never even got there. It was like I said. I thought the story had so much more potential, and I'm really confused about where they're going in Phase 3 because
Have you seen Ant-Man yet? No.
I have not seen Ant-Man, so I'm going to watch that one.
Ant-Man's critical, I think, to the Phase 3 station.
Right, but
it's marginal.
like I'm going back to, for example, didn't they make at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy 2, they were bringing up Adam, right?
Adam's in Guardians 3 though. Guardians 3. He's in Guardians 3.
Really? I haven't seen him at all. They keep showing some other bad guy.
No, Adam Warlock's in Guardians 3.
Okay, yeah.
He's not the bad guy though. Adam Warlock's not the bad guy.
Right, but they haven't. I don't even. But they kind of brought him up like he was going to be the bad guy, and I didn't know.
Oh
if
yeah,
he was
he's
gonna be-
in Guardians 3.
Okay.
Yeah, Adam Warlock is in Guardians 3.
I just don't, and I don't recognize
Him,
who the bad guy is.
they did not drop. They dropped like Star Fox. There's no idea what's gonna happen to Star Fox. That was the Eternals post credits.
Right.
We're not sure what's gonna happen there.
Right, that just kind of vanished.
We're not sure what's gonna happen there for sure. But
I am curious to see how they loop in.
Yeah, Adam Warlock's fine. The
Um,
Marvels trailer dropped. Did you see it?
I have not.
The new teaser trailer for the Marvels.
I have to check that.
It looks good. I mean, people hate on it because, frankly, they're misogynists.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you know, a lot of people hated on
Ms. Marvel.
Ms. Marvel and the TV show,
I was like, and Ms. Marvel.
and you know, I can understand that, you know, there's some people like, oh, it's women's empowerment, we're just going too far. And I'm like, no, it's the fucking characters, right? They didn't turn a character anyway.
I mean, Ms. Marvel, like Captain Marvel is fucking overpowered, but
Yes.
that part's just true.
Yeah.
But no, the Ms. Marvel was kind of cool. It kind of caught its stride. It was funny.
Yeah, I only watched a couple episodes of it.
It looks okay. I think it looks okay.
I haven't seen that one or She-Hulk, but I'm really curious to see what they're gonna do with.
She-Hulk was. I actually really enjoyed She-Hulk,
Okay.
but it went a little off the rails near the end, to be honest. But the character, like the actual main character, does a great job. She's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to what they're gonna do with Deadpool, and how they're gonna fold in X-Men.
Supposedly Wolverine's gonna be in that. Probably Hugh Jackman.
Yes,
Like
Hugh
the rumor
Jackman's
is that
back.
Hugh Jackman's gonna come back to be.
No,
in
he's
that.
already. They've already like shown pictures of the two of them. He's shown himself working out and getting ready.
I think
for
it's
the role.
awesome because those two, like Ryan Reynolds and like Hugh Jackman.
I think
sort of,
that
like, fucking
they are
around, like, for a
literally.
while.
I would watch them in anything.
They're like a
especially
brother
together,
comedy.
Because yeah, they are. They need to do a Step Brothers type comedy where they'll
Yeah,
just be
it's great.
stupid. I agree. He's gonna get us one of those barrel-aged beers. What else can we talk about? Basketball playoffs started. Those are pretty fun. Looking forward to that. I think there'll be some good games. NFL drafts in a couple of weeks, but I'm a Niners fan, so I don't care because we don't have anyone until the third round. No idea what they're doing over there in Baltimore, signing OBJ to a guaranteed $15 million when you don't even have a quarterback. Not sure what's going on there. Baseball season started. It's a little weird. Like you were having one game and then 2 days off. I don't know what they're doing with the schedule. I will say this. I love the new baseball rules. A baseball game in 2.5 hours is perfect. I can talk about this because Hoppy Hippo hates the fucking baseball, but I think a 2.5 hour baseball game is perfect. The new rules play into that very well. The new rules do make it a little bit more offense oriented, which is great. Unless you're a Giants fan like me and they can't hit the ball and strike out 16 times a game, which I still don't understand. I also still don't understand for the life of me not bunting in the 10th inning with nobody out and a runner on second. Call me crazy, you know. Let's see, what other stuff is going on?
All right, I brought two options for you.
Okay.
My wife was in Reading not that long ago, so we got some Fall River.
Oh, okay.
If you're interested in a little double IPA from Fall River. I've drank it most of the Fall River, admittedly, because she brought me like a case like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Been my primary. And I brought us one of these sours I purchased yesterday.
We'd have to do a sour of the week.
This is from Flatland. This is Swirl, a blueberry banana boysenberry.
Oh, we gotta do that.
So we can do those. I also have some barrel aged options if you want a barrel aged.
I definitely want to do that sour. That sounds good. Anyway, I was just going over sports. It's kind of boring. Not a whole lot going on
Sports
right
isn't
now.
really well. I mean, the NBA playoffs just started.
NBA playoffs did just start. Like I said, baseball. You hate baseball, but a 2.5 hour baseball game is perfect.
I think as far as baseball goes,
so
2.5
awesome.
is what you want it to be.
Yes, and
They
that's what
did stuff to
are.
improve the speed though, which is nice.
Yeah, well, they're all 2.5 hour games.
Yeah,
They're pretty much
which is
2.5
nice.
hours.
Which I think is good. That is an improvement.
It is definitely an improvement. So.
Do you want to go to a Major League Soccer game, just out of curiosity?
I have gone to an MLS game. Yes, I
Because
went.
the wife could have got Earthquake tickets.
I mean, I'm not a huge Earthquakes fan.
That's San Jose.
I'll be honest with you. I like women's soccer better than men's soccer in America.
I actually still like soccer, so I was just curious.
I would go see a Premier League game, or I would go see an American friendly, but women's soccer is just better in America.
But like
America.
free soccer tickets.
Yeah, I mean, no, not really.
Still no? Okay, just checking.
Not really.
We're big soccer fans.
Yeah, I mean, I watch Premier League on Saturdays and Sundays, but MLS is third league compared to that. I mean,
that's fair.
You know,
That's
so
fair.
it's
That's
but you know the women's national team, the U.S. women's national team.
for the-
I was watching them the other day when they lost their best player to
I'll support sour.
an ankle. It was
Take the double.
sad.
Yeah, all right.
But yeah, no, it's just like it's a April just is a kind of a tough time. Oh, I will say this.
Gluten reduced.
I know another gluten reduced. What is up with these people doing gluten reduced beers?
Swirl.
Oh wait, I think
Blueberry?
Flatland was the other one that had gluten reduced. They had-
Swirl, blueberry, boysenberry, banana ice cream cone sour. I got
Sounds
nothing.
really fucking
I got
good.
fucking nothing.
That was the same.
Gives a roll.
Flatland was also the barrel aged one that you had, and it's gluten reduced.
Oh yeah,
I'm not
that's
sure.
right. You're right. They're probably all gluten reduced.
I'm wondering why they're doing gluten
The
reduced.
NBA draft is coming up.
No, NFL draft.
That's what I meant.
Yep. And I talked about that. but
Technically, the NBA
Niners
draft's
don't,
not that far away. But yeah.
Niners don't have a pick until the third round, so I don't really give a shit. But I said, explain to me what the hell Baltimore is doing. OBJ signed for a guaranteed $15 million.
Which feels like a lot.
Who's throwing to him?
Lamar Jackson.
No, he's not.
We'll see. Apparently, the new word is that he put in the demand that you have to sign DeAndre Hopkins. You have to acquire DeAndre Hopkins somehow, which obviously is insane because they don't have enough money to pay DeAndre Hopkins and Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, I was going to say that creates a bit of a problem because you just gave OBJ 15 for 1 year, meaning all 15 of it counts on this year's salary cap.
I think no, it doesn't actually. So I read
I
about
thought it was
this.
just a 1 year deal.
It's a 1 year deal with something called phantom years.
Oh, I did not hear that.
So it's actually only going to cost them like $4 million or something.
On the cap?
this year. Yeah.
Oh,
So it's actually lower than that. It's actually $13 million with $3 million in incentives.
Yes, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. But
But still, 13 million guaranteed. That's an insane amount of money for a guy who didn't play at all last year.
it doesn't sound like that much for like a. It doesn't sound like that much. Like
He didn't
13
play
million
at
seasons-
all.
But 13 million doesn't sound like
Guaranteed. No, 13 million doesn't sound like that much if it's not all guaranteed, if it's incentive based. They're guaranteed to give him $13 million if he doesn't even play a snap.
Dude, I'll be honest with you, man. I really kind of think sports contracts should all be guaranteed, especially in the NFL.
I 150% agree with you. You can't. The funny part is,
Or at the very
people,
least, like there
fans
should
get
be.
pissed off when you hold out.
Let's say, at the very least, there should be some sort of addendum that says that if you get injured and cannot play, your salary is guaranteed.
Well,
you
they
can't
have-
just quit and get paid. Like I don't agree with that, right? So maybe there should just be like an addendum that says if you quit
Oh wow, that smells great.
or otherwise engage in some sort of activity, then we can void your
activity
contract.
detrimental to the team. But they like the whole idea that they can just cut you.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But like I say, but that's okay. But fans lose their shit when players hold out, and you're like, well, they can cut me.
Dude, it's football. It's football, dude. Like, you do not. You can literally just. You don't even know. You're never gonna play again. Like, I would hold out with them. I'd get my money too.
Oh no, I either you guarantee all the contract or you don't. And if you don't, then you can't get pissed off when either side decides I don't want to honor this anymore. It's a two-way street.
It definitely smells like berry.
No, you get the berry smell for sure, but it's also got something I don't know funky. Boysenberry,
should be
banana,
fresh.
blueberry. No, I don't know what it is.
Actually, I don't even know if it's fresh or not. To be honest, I mean, I literally bought it from their
What's,
fucking.
the
brewery
can has a
yesterday.
date on the bottom.
No, it just says dessert. Anyone?
Oh, it doesn't even have a date.
No, it's probably fresh though.
I mean, they're normally pretty good about it, Flatland.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I bought it from the brewery. I didn't buy it at a store, so it's
Right.
probably fresh. Yeah, I don't see a date though.
Dessert anymore. Oh, no, there is none. That is weird. Let's see. Here we go.
Well, it's tart though, but that's more of the boysenberry blueberry thing, I think.
Oh, that is tart. Ooh.
It's good tart though. Oh, there's an aftertaste that's nice and sweet, like way at the end though.
I'm not getting
But
the
it's
sweet.
deep. It's deep. It's deep though. It's deep. It's
I'm
like,
getting
it's
the
like
pucker.
the third aftertaste.
I'm getting the pucker. That's lots of pucker.
Boysenberry, blueberry.
A boysenberry. I don't think blueberries are very puckery. Boysenberries are puckery. I think raspberries are more puckery. I don't get a whole lot of banana though. Are you getting any banana?
I don't get any banana.
I would like more banana.
Yeah, to sort of mellow it out.
Yep. Smooth.
That's fair.
It kind of carries that. That note kind of stays level as you're getting through all the other stuff.
That's fair.
That's what
That's fair. I'm looking forward to the NFL draft, mostly because there's a bunch of quarterback. Like anytime there's quarterback intrigue in the NFL draft, I find it more interesting.
I think it's going to be
CJ Stroud, but yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, you get the three quarterbacks at the top, and one of them.
Stroud, Richardson, and I don't know. The intriguing one is Richardson, though. That's the intriguing.
Yeah, well,
one. He's played like 5 games.
Yeah, the guy from Florida is intriguing. The other guy is only like 5'10".
That's Stroud, I think.
Right, he's the smaller guy.
He's gonna go first, though.
Well, I mean, they keep going back and forth. I don't.
Richardson is.
I'll be honest. I don't take a quarterback. I don't. If you go back through the history, the last 40 years, top 3 quarterbacks, you could count on one hand the players who ended up being successful.
I don't think that's true. I really don't think it's true. All right,
Top 3.
Let's fucking look. Let's
take a
fucking look.
Let's-
I don't think that's true. And we're not talking Super Bowl successful either. We're just talking successful, right? We're not.
I mean, I would say made it to and won playoff games. That's what I would call successful. Because like I mean, you go back to, for example, you got the classic example of Peyton Manning and Ryan Leaf. Now Ryan Leaf,
All right, 22.
is like-
It's 22.
we can't. Yeah, 20. You got to go. I would say before 2020.
Oh, good. Because you're talking about players. You only want players 1, 2, and 3. There was no
Yes.
one. There was no one anyway.
There was one last year, and the year before that it was the 49ers.
2021. You don't care about either.
Well, I mean, you could show it as an example. Isn't that the year that?
That's a terrible example, though.
That's what I'm saying.
Actually, it's a pretty. Actually, that's not true. I'd call. There's one. It actually went Lawrence, Wilson, Lance.
And
I would consider Lawrence to be a successful quarterback at this time.
He's
for 2 years in.
He's on the
For
verge.
2 years in.
Right? I would say he's on the verge. He hasn't.
I don't think you can call him a bust. I don't think no matter
No, he's
what
not a
happens, there, he
bust.
cannot be considered a bust.
No,
Wilson and Lance still bust potential.
I agree, and yes, I would put you there. That's so. But he's the only one, and I still wouldn't call him quite successful. He has the potential next year.
Other first round
But that's
quarterbacks
3
that
years.
year, Mac Jones.
Nope.
Just Mac Jones.
Yeah.
All right, so 2020. Let's go.
Cool.
All right, number 1, Joe Burrow.
Successful.
Number 5, Tua.
I don't think so.
This year was good,
but
he might just die. He literally could die.
yeah,
like,
exactly. You're right.
immediately.
Like he's one
Actually,
of those.
this draft was great, by the way. All right, so we'll
Not
call
top
Tua,
5.
Tua's up in the air. Tua's 5th. No, well, Joe Burrow number 1 is
Right. No,
fucking
Joe Burrow's a
stud.
success. Absolutely. Yes.
And then it went
yeah.
Chase Young and then Jeff Okuda, but
Yeah, no.
and then Justin Herbert went 6th. I think I'd consider.
Yeah,
him
but he's
successful.
not top 5.
I know.
He's
I'm
not
just
top
saying.
5.
Well, neither was Tua. I'm just pointing out the top quarterbacks though.
Well, that's
So
it,
one.
two
So
went
we
five.
got 1. 2 went 5 though.
Yeah, let's say
You
that's
said
top
top 3. You
5.
said top 3.
Okay, that's true. I did say top
Yeah.
3.
So
Okay.
I wasn't trying to argue. I was just saying 2 went 5th, and he's like, not bad. Okay, so that's 1.
That's 1.
We get to go 40 years. I always use make
I
it
said 20.
6. Oh, 20. We'll get
I
to
said
20.
20.
and 6. All right, let's see here. Kyler Murray for 2019.
I don't call him successful.
He's literally won playoff games.
I don't think he has.
Well, let's fucking. If only we could Google this.
I think he's made it to the playoffs, but I don't think he won.
Kyler Murray.
I can do Kyler Murray playoff record while you look up.
God damn it. All right, you do Kyler Murray playoff record. I fucked this all up. Go away. What the fuck, phone?
Kyler Murray playoff record.
All right, so Kyler, it's 2018. Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold both top 3.
And
Hold on. I don't think you can call Baker not decent. Didn't he win a playoff game this year?
Kyler Murray has a passer rating of 40.9 with 137 yards and 2 interceptions in 1 game in the playoffs.
But you don't think Kyler Murray's a success? You wouldn't consider him to be a good first round pick, a good top 3 pick?
No. He could still be there. He's
Okay, that's fine.
got another year or 2, but no, not
What about Baker?
Ooh, see Baker. I think Baker is a victim of the circumstances.
He didn't make the playoffs with the Rams, right?
Right, but I don't.
I thought he might have won.
No. The Rams didn't make the playoffs this year.
Oh, okay.
No.
Sam Darnold, bust.
Bust.
We know that because 2 years later they tried to get Zach
Not to
Wilson.
mention, he's now the 3rd string quarterback in San Francisco.
All right,
Don't
Sam
know if you
Darnold,
knew that.
busto. All right, well, I don't really watch this. All right, let's see here. Mitchell Trubisky.
Bust. Even though
Yeah.
I think technically didn't he win a play? No, he made it to the playoffs.
Yeah,
no,
he's-
not Trubisky. I'm thinking the guy
When did
from
Justin
Philly.
Fields get drafted?
But I don't think he was a top 3 pick.
I know that, but this is a crazy year. Like Mahomes went 10, Watson went 12.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. Like
All right,
I
we'll
think
go back. We'll go back.
you'll find better
So
quarterbacks.
really, we're just at Joe Burrow still.
Yes, so far.
All right, let's see here. Jared Goff, Carson Wentz. I think you have to consider Goff to be a successful quarterback. I honestly do. He got injured, but I think he was successful in his time.
Yeah, but okay. So then maybe I need to read.
I don't feel like the Rams regret drafting Jared Goff.
No, but the funny part is they ended up trading him to win
Yeah.
the Super Bowl.
He got injured.
I'm just saying.
Carson
Wentz,
Wentz
he's the guy I was thinking about. Like that bastard, he's also a victim of his circumstances because he like gets ready to go to the playoffs and then blows his knee out and has sucked ever since.
I'm looking at like a top 3 pick. I'm thinking, do the coaches who drafted them regret having drafted them? Like, I don't feel like
I
I don't
guess
feel like you feel like. I mean, I wouldn't call either Jared Goff or Carson Wentz like Joe Burrow.
they're not a bust,
Joe Burrow is clearly a stud,
right? And that's
right, which is what you want in your top 3 quarterbacks. I'm not disagreeing
That's
with that.
my point.
I'm just saying Goff and Wentz, I would not consider either one to be
They're
busts,
not busts,
but they're not studs.
You would not have if you redo the draft. You don't take them in the top 3.
All right, so let's go
That's
up
what I
to
would do.
2015. Oh, this one's good. This one's fun too. Jameis Winston, Marcus Mariota went 1-2. Right, so I'm pretty sure that both of them are not busts, except like not that far off from busts.
Yeah, they're just above bust level. They're serviceable quarterbacks that you would have rather taken at the end of the first round. Instead
All right,
of the beginning.
2014, Blake Bortles went 3rd to the Jacksonville
Bust.
Jaguars. You think bust?
I'm not bust.
I
but
mean, he's been replaced by now, so I guess
Yes.
technically a bust. It's been 7 years he's been replaced already, but he
But
wasn't. That was a
he did
circumstance thing.
okay.
Jacksonville's
Not a
terrible.
bust, but he did okay.
All right, 2013 no go. 2012. 2012.
That's why we're still at 1.
Well, we're gonna go up from there. 2012.
Yeah.
Number 1, Andrew Luck.
You gotta call. I mean, he was not a bust. The only bad thing about Andrew Luck is he should have played 5 more years.
But you cannot call.
You can't call him a bust.
You have to call him a stud. He
I
has to
think
be a stud.
yeah, I agree with you. Andrew Luck-
Unfortunately, the number second pick was Robert Griffin III, which unfortunately was probably stud. Then he blew out his knee,
he was.
so he has to be
was
called bust now.
he was
Yeah.
on the verge of stud when he blew out his knee. I agree with you, and I actually enjoy the hell out of him doing games.
Oh, Griffin's good.
I
All
think
right,
he's
so we're
great.
at 2. We're at 2.
Where to?
All right, this is gonna bump it again. 2011, Cam Newton number 1. Stud. You can't. He won player. He made the Super Bowl.
He did make the Super Bowl.
Like nobody regrets the Cam Newton draft pick at all. Dude was a fucking savage.
All right. Give it. I mean, I don't think he's number 1 quality overall, but fine.
I
There
mean,
are
in
better
that draft
quarterbacks
pick.
in that draft.
Whoa. All right, let's see here. Jake Locker?
No.
Blaine Gabbert?
No.
Christian Ponder?
No.
Well, we're done with the first round.
All right, maybe.
Okay, hold on. No, maybe you're right. Round 2, we got Andy Dalton.
Oh, no good.
Colin not Cam Newton. Not better than Cam Newton.
No, not better than. No, I agree with you. Not better than Cam.
Colin
Newton.
Kaepernick.
Not better than Cam Newton.
Uh,
Although he did go to the Super Bowl as well.
he did. Ryan Mallett.
No. Maybe there weren't better quarterbacks.
Okay,
in
we're
that
in
draft.
round 4 here.
All right. I give it. So we're at 3. We're at
Round
3.
5, we got Ricky Stanzi. I don't even know that
I
name.
don't know that name at all
TJ Yates. That one I did know, weirdly enough.
because he started some games
All right, so we're at 3.
for Indianapolis, didn't
We're
he?
at 3. Andrew Luck,
We're at 3.
Cam Newton, and Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow. We're at 3.
And we're at 20. That was 2011. So that was only 11 years.
Right. 12 years. 12 years. Because we're in 2013.
We got 9. So we got 9 more. Sam Bradford was next up in 2010.
Good, but not
Not quite.
quite.
Then went Ndamukong Suh and then Gerald McCoy.
Dominican's step on your suit.
And then the only other quarterback in the first round that year was Tim fucking Tebow.
Oof.
What a brutal draft.
I was gonna say,
What a
how
brutal
do you,
draft.
How do you draft him in the first round?
Bradford.
Isn't that your team?
Yeah.
Isn't that your team?
No, wait. Yeah, it's probably no.
Miami drafted him, didn't they?
Miami did actually. No.
No.
No, I think Denver drafted.
Denver drafted.
I actually thought Bradford was really good.
He had the potential to be something really good.
All right, 2009. Let's see here. Matthew Stafford, stud.
Yeah, I have to give you the staff.
Uh,
I mean, he didn't do great in the playoffs, and in
I
fact,
think-
I don't think he even played in a playoff game until he got traded.
5th was my man, the butt fumble.
The butt fumble. He's also a pretty good analyst. He's not as good as RG3.
17 with the Josh.
But you got
Freeman.
so we need to revise that though. I need to be clear. Stafford does not even win a playoff game until he gets traded to LA.
But he was fucking good.
He
with
was
Detroit.
good.
It was not his fucking
No,
fault.
and yes,
like
and
Stafford
you,
was not holding Detroit back.
and by your analysis, they do not regret
Yeah,
drafting.
Stafford
that.
was not holding
Even-
people back.
Yeah, 100%,
Okay.
100%.
So we're clear on that. All right, so we're up to
Yeah,
4,
yeah.
I believe. All right, so we're only going to 2003, right? 2002.
Yeah, 2002 or 3. Yeah. So we're
2008. Okay.
So you're
Matt Ryan, 3rd pick. Atlanta.
Oh yeah, you got to give
Stud.
it. You got to give it.
So
You're
we're
at
5, I
5.
believe.
You're at 5. But we're still in one hand.
I got some more years. All right. Oh, this is it. This is gonna do it. 2007. Do you know what the number 1 pick in 2007 draft was?
No.
Oh, you do know. It's local boy.
No.
Sipping on scissor.
Jamarcus.
So Marcus Russell.
like Ryan Leaf is bad, bust bad.
So,
Jamarcus
Russell's
Russell.
the biggest bust of literally all time. He didn't even want to play. Like, Leaf made bad choices. Russell was like, nah, dude, I'm good.
Yeah, no, Russell. Oof, oof, oof. Yeah, but I'm just saying that one alone should knock a couple of mine off. Like that
All right,
is
so let's see here.
literally one of the worst picks
Okay,
of all
there's
time.
only one other quarterback in the first round that year, by the way. It was Brady Quinn to Cleveland.
No,
Which is a little victim of circumstancey action, though. Everyone who gets drafted to Cleveland's a victim of circumstance, though.
I would
so.
agree with you. And
Let's
that
see
poor
here.
bastard
Is
sitting in
anybody
the
good
green
here?
room.
Kevin Cobb, John Bach, Drew Stanton. Wow, this might be the Trent Edwards. Well, he was okay. Trent Edwards was
It's
okay.
fine.
Isaiah Stanback.
Nope. I don't even know who that is.
Yeah, I'm digging deep here. Jeff Rowe.
Nope.
William Gay.
Nope.
All right, that was a terrible quarterback draft. All right, we're still a 5 because Jamarcus Russell didn't
We're
quite
still
make
a 5.
the cut.
I think Jamarcus should take one off.
Oh, this
me.
one's iffy. This one's more iffy.
Okay.
All right, so third pick of the 2006 draft was Vince Young.
I don't think he gets
Right,
to
that's
break.
hard, right?
I
But he
don't
got
think he gets
hurt,
to
right?
break because he,
Yeah.
just like RG3, he had the potential to do something really, really good.
God, he was
I
fantastic in
agree.
college. He was
He
so
was.
good.
He was. And he had the body like Cam Newton. He had the body to withstand the punishment, but it was his knee, right, or his ankle. Like it wasn't.
Something like that, yeah.
It was a joint.
There are
so-
2 more first-round quarterbacks, I think, in this draft that I think were well. One is definitely legit, and I think we would all agree was on the stud level. It's not Matt Leinart though, because he went.
He
went
not.
10th.
Yeah.
It was Jay Cutler though to Denver. Cutler threw for Denver for like 10 years.
You mean Chicago?
Yeah, Chicago. Sorry.
Yeah.
He threw for Chicago for like 10 years. He married a girl from the hills. Like, I'm just saying, like, Cutler was nobody
Cutler-
regrets the Cutler draft at 12.
Oh, if you ask Bears fans, I guarantee you, if you ask Randy, he will tell you.
Well,
he
Cutler
regrets.
was so good for them. Also, he was actually drafted by Denver.
He was drafted by Denver.
Yeah,
He played
so-
for Chicago.
Yeah, he was Chicago.
Okay,
Alright, so,
we're still
we're
at 5,
we're
and you only
still
got
at
like 2 more
We're
years,
at two,
right?
no, we're this 2005 is what I'm about to read right now.
Oh,
So
okay,
I need
alright,
one more. I've
okay.
got 3. I think to get 1. Alex Smith.
Okay.
Oh, this one's
That's
hard
a
for you.
tough
This
one
one's
for me
hard.
because I don't know if you'd say stud, but I also most, because I don't agree. Most 49er fans would tell you they regret that pick. I don't. I think he was also a victim of circumstances, like 5 fucking OCs in 5 years. And then when he finally gets to a place, he gets to Washington, he looks good, he's playing well.
Blows up the knee, right?
No, he's the one who blew out his whole fucking lower leg.
Oh, that's right.
Like they had to shave shit off. Like you can see the skin grafts and stuff. I just don't know that you would call him a stud. He's a good
I would
quarterback.
not put him in the same class as the 5 we've agreed on so far.
Okay.
Of note in that draft, you know who the best quarterback in that draft was? You know this, I'm sure of it.
I don't remember years.
It was Aaron Rodgers.
Oh yeah, that is the. I don't know. I should always remember that because
It was Aaron Rodgers.
he was pissed off that the 49ers didn't draft him.
Yeah, he went all the way to 24th.
Right.
Then Jason Campbell went at 25th.
Ooh.
DeMarcus Ware went to the 11th, and he's already in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, but
That's not a quarterback,
defensive players.
but he's still only.
That's what I'm saying.
2005. I'm just saying 2005 draft. He's already in the Hall of Fame. That was a fucking stud, right?
No, he was a stud.
Because you need 5 years
Oh.
out of the league.
Yeah, 5 years out of the
Right,
league.
so-
he was no joke.
That's stud action.
Even though he was
Alright.
a cowboy, he was no joke.
2004. Oh, I got it. I'm making it. I'm taking it. You know who 2004 draft number 1 is?
No, but I know it's so good.
It's Eli Manning.
And you can't.
It's Eli.
Everyone can talk shit
Whoop,
about
whoop,
Eli
Eli.
all you want. Motherfucker won Super Bowls.
Yep.
You can't not call him a stud.
Number 4 was actually this is a sick ass draft. Number 4 was Phillip Rivers.
Right? Solid.
Everybody thinks this is good.
Yes.
Number 11, Ben Roethlisberger. Fucking Iron Man, won 2 Super Bowls, right?
Big rape. Yep.
Yeah, the big rape over there. Let's see here. Oh, Buffalo picked up J.P. Losman at 22.
Ew.
All right, well, that ended that run.
So so fine.
We're at 6. Well, I have one more year. That was
Right.
2004.
I'm just saying we're at 6 in 19 years. So
But you're
I'm
studs,
pretty
though. You're looking for
close.
studs, though. I'd say
Right.
if we look at quarterbacks that were, like, not regrettable, there's more.
Yeah, but not regrettable for a top 3 pick. You've got to be a stud if you're a top 3 pick.
All right,
You
last.
have
This
to.
one's actually good, so I'll get one here, too.
There's another good one, I think.
2003 was number 1 pick was Carson Palmer.
Not a stud, not a bust.
I think he was good.
He was good.
He's better in Arizona than Cincinnati. Actually, that's
Yes.
up there. He was a stud in Cincinnati early on.
He is much like Stafford.
Then he got hurt.
He was much like
And then he
Stafford.
moved to Cincinnati. Then
Yeah.
he moved to Arizona. He rebuilt. I think
Yes.
I think he was very. I'd consider him a stud, honestly.
Yeah, it's close.
So
It's
that's
close.
2003. So that's Well, because 2022, yeah, 20.
Yeah,
That should be
there's
20
20
drafts.
years.
So I would
You got
consider
at
7
least
probably.
to 6 to 7, but like I said, but that's and even a couple of those.
But we could go back through other positions. Like so here's the 2003 NFL draft. The other picks 2 and 3. Charles Rogers. No, blew out his knee.
Blew out his
year fucking 2.
Right.
Number 3, however, Andre Johnson, stud.
Stud.
All right, so let's see.
But
Okay,
and that's
so-
what I believe you will find.
Actually, the non-quarterbacks are doing really good so far.
That's
Number
what I'm
2 for the next year was Robert Gallery and Larry Fitzgerald.
Come on, like that's
All right, let's see. 2005,
that's
Ronnie Brown, who actually was a very, very good running
He's a
back.
very good running back. Yes.
And then Braylon Edwards, who was probably the best Cleveland receiver.
Yes.
Like
for
a long time.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Mario Williams and Reggie Bush went ahead of Vince Young.
Yeah, that was a weird
Mario
draft.
Williams got
I
hurt, I
remember
think,
that.
right?
Yeah, he did. And Reggie, I never thought Reggie Bush was gonna. If I had been an NFL exec, Young over Bush every time.
I think Bush had a good. I think Bush had a good career.
I mean, no, it was serviceable. He
But
was
he's like a weird
But again, you
gadget
got to think about
player.
it. Top 3 career,
We're gadget
You-
player, yeah.
but he's just not a top 3 career.
Oh god, this draft's brutal. 2007 NFL draft. Number 1, Jamarcus Russell. Next 2 players, both Hall of Famers. You know who they were?
No.
Calvin Johnson and Joe Thomas.
Oh, dude. See, and that's it. If I'm drafting top 5
And then at 14th, Darrell
defensive
Revis.
end, wow.
Hall of Famer
man.
also. 3 Hall of Famers in this first round.
Yeah, I'm drafting defensive end, offensive tackle, defensive back, or wide receiver. That's if you're in the top 5, that's where you got to go.
0.
The problem is the quarterback position is so important. People put a higher value on that, and it gets moved up. I'll be surprised if one of these 3 quarterbacks makes it 5 years.
Only 1 Hall of Famer in the 2003 draft, Troy Polamalu.
Damn good player too.
None in 2004.
Oof.
Let's see here.
But it's also-
only DeMarcus Ware in 2005.
Right, but you're starting to get into
Yeah.
they played 10 years, retired 5 years. No, you're still got a couple more years.
2007 had the 2, Calvin Johnson and Joe Thomas, and Darrell
Calvin
Revis.
Johnson, Jesus,
And Darrell Revis, 3 Hall
and
of
Joe
Famers.
Thomas.
And Joe Thomas is like a
Yeah, no,
Like
he's
an all-time great.
flat out, yes.
Let's
He's
see
like,
here.
those are actually those 3 are probably top 100 of all time
Yeah, very likely.
between defensive back,
That's fair.
tackle,
Let's see,
wide receiver.
2008,
Calvin, I mean, come on.
2008
I don't.
Yeah.
What is it with people in Detroit retiring?
Chris Long.
I didn't want Calvin to go.
Because they're not putting the other things around them. Let's see. I think this is out of the point where we get. I don't think. Yeah, 2010 shouldn't have any NFL, any Hall of Famers. So
No, it's too soon.
let's go way back. Let's
Yeah.
see how far back we can go here for Hall
But
of
that's my whole point. Is just I don't think taking a quarterback in the top 3 tends to work out.
I mean,
And if you
it's gonna
look at the
work
numbers
out.
we just did, no matter how you analyze the numbers we just did, less than half of them worked out.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's fair. I think
And you can say that about a lot of positions, but
The
when
problem
you're,
is the same thing
when
happens
you're
later,
top 3, you should be getting a cornerstone of your team for the next decade.
the problem is that I think the problem is the quarterback actual turnover rate. We're still streaming. Okay,
Yeah,
so you can see my leg just straight. I should probably myself like
With the boys? No,
No,
you're
they
good.
were-
You're good.
So the problem
mouse
is
was
though
not
that
a
the
mouse.
quarterback attrition rate, the quarterback approval rating, for lack of a better term, is kind of consistent throughout though. Like even if
Mhm.
you're drafting him lower,
Mhm.
so I'm not sure it makes a ton of difference.
No,
I
I
mean,
just like
Where would they? I mean, they got to be drafted somewhere, but I think receivers are probably more likely.
Yeah, I would not if I had a top 5 pick, unless it was like you just can't miss quarterback or just can't miss running back. I don't think it works.
All right, 2002 one Hall of Famer in the first round, Ed Reed.
Definite Hall of Fame.
2001 has 3. This is pretty good. LaDainian Tomlinson went 5th.
Oh, LT, yeah.
This is the year it made me stop.
Fantasy-
by the way. Michael
fantasy
Vick
league
was number
killer.
1 that league, by the way, that year. By the way,
Yeah, bust.
Michael Vick was not a bust.
Bust.
He was not a bust. He was so good in Atlanta. You
Bust.
saw what he fucking let a couple dogs fight. Let's see. Richard Seymour, Hall of Famer,
Yeah.
and then Steve Hutchinson, Hall of Famer.
Offensive
guard
lineman,
for Seattle.
yeah.
Yeah, for Seattle.
Yeah.
So that's
That's what I'm saying.
2002.
Defensive lineman, offensive lineman. That's what I'm talking about.
2001.
They should just let me run the
has
49ers.
One,
I got it.
one Hall of Famer in the first round of 2000. That was Brian Urlacher.
Linebacker, stud.
Yeah, he was good. Okay, then we get some more fun. 1999 has 2. Edgar and James and Champa Bailey.
Oh, Edgar and James.
Oh, this is on top 3 quarter. 1999 a 3 quarterback draft. Do you know what the top 3 quarterbacks were in 1999?
No.
You don't. You know why? Because they suck.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
It's
They proved my point.
One of them actually hits you. One of them actually doesn't. 2 of them absolutely do. Tim Couch,
Sucked.
Keely Smith.
Really sucked.
He went 3rd. Number 2, Donovan McNabb.
Didn't suck.
Except was really bad under pressure.
Yeah. Don't put him in the NFC Championship game.
Really bad under pressure.
Yeah.
2 Hall of Famers, so Edgar James and Champ Bailey. Also, a couple really stud. This is a good draft. Ricky Williams. Fucking him. That's just a dope running back.
I love that running
Crazy
back.
negotiator.
Yes. Mhm.
Dope running back. Torrey Holt.
Torrey Holt. Okay.
Um,
He's not in the Hall of Fame.
no, not yet.
Oh wow.
Not according to this thing. Dante Culpepper.
Good player.
This
Everybody
is,
goes stud.
but I'm just naming out people in the draft that were good,
Good pick.
first
Good
round.
pick.
That I'm popping up names for. That's mostly it, actually. Some of them I don't know. So that was 1999, so that wasn't too bad. I remember, God, 1999 was like, I want to say that was the first year I ever did a fantasy draft. And at my work, when I worked for Sony at the time, we're testing video games and shit.
Okay.
We're doing this fantasy draft, first ever fantasy draft. And this dude has the 3rd pick in the draft. And he's like, Tim Couch.
Where is he, and how do we get him in our league now?
And we were like, dude, what? He was like, you're gonna shock the league, man. And we
Oh,
was
he
like,
did.
We was like,
He right.
okay, Tim
He shocked
Couch.
the league. He shocked the league by sucking as bad as you
Somebody
can suck.
very much does not understand the way that like drafting quite works. You know?
Yeah, no, you could have gotten Tim Couch in like the 10th round.
Ooh, 1998 has 4 Hall of Famers in the first round. It's pretty good. Peyton Manning, Charles Woodson,
Yeah.
Randy Moss,
Yeah.
Alan Faneca.
Faneca.
Yeah, whatever. Guard, Pittsburgh.
Yeah, offensive line.
It's pretty good though. 4 is pretty good out of the draft. Actually.
That is
for the
pretty
first
good.
round.
That is pretty good.
3 the year before that, Orlando Pace, Walter Jones, Tony Gonzalez. Tony Gonzalez.
And are we noticing a pattern? I'm just asking. Are you noticing a pattern here?
None of the-
Offensive linemen, defensive linemen, wide receivers. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, this is a fun draft here. 1996, number 1 overall pick, Keyshawn Johnson.
And see, so that's one I think you could have a good argument over, not bust, but not stud.
Other receivers in the first round: Terry Glenn, Eddie Kinnison, Hall of Famer Marvin Harrison,
I was going to say Marvin.
Eric Moulds. Ray Lewis
And-
also in this draft, and
and-
Jonathan Ogden.
And my question, so here we go.
Keyshawn was a fucking sav though, dude. He was like an athletic freak though.
He was an athletic freak, and he's one of those ones where like his teams just sucked so hard.
They did.
So hard. You felt bad for the guy.
The problem is you can't draft like a receiver, and the receiver can't save your team. You need like a decent quarterback, and then you can draft like a stud receiver.
I agree.
Trying to rinse it, forget it. You're getting a little.
Yeah, I was gonna try to
No, forget it. You're getting a little.
get a little strawberry
Get
raspberry.
a little strawberry raspberry in your double IPA.
But like I said, so I don't think that's the way to go. I don't think if I were a top 3, I think the 49ers, I will say this, the
The Niners
49ers,
picked the 3rd round though. Really, that's pretty late.
they
That's pretty
picked, yeah, they don't pick till the 3rd round, but when they picked Trey, that's who I thought they should pick because I didn't see Mac Jones doing much in the NFL, and so far I think I'm right. But can't say for sure.
But they got motherfucking Brock Purdy, Brock Purdy.
Maybe
He's
We'll
totally
see
gonna
how-
start.
We'll see. I agree. I think he's going to start. But think about it. So they've got
I like.
they've got 2 first-round picks as quarterbacks, and neither of them are projected to be the starters. Because they
fair.
got Sam
Sam
Darnold, and they got Trey. Both are probably going to be backups.
Which is funny because Trey Lance feels like a better fit with McCaffrey, just because he provides that additional little bit of running possibility. Right?
I think Trey Lance is a better fit for McCaffrey. I think he's a terrible fit for
Like Debo and them.
No, for the coach's scheme. He's not the RPO is not what he does. He does the short passes. The point to Trey Lance is he's supposed to be able to get outside the pocket and do off-schedule plays way down the field, and that's not what this offense is designed to do.
Sure.
So but by the same token, I thought I didn't see Mac Jones being a very good quarterback in the NFL, and look, if you can't succeed in New England. With what they always have good players around you, they've got a good system.
Yeah, they got a good scheme. It was a good scheme. It's fair.
You're not a very good quarterback. That's just
fair.
I
All right,
mean,
let's play. Since we're still gonna finish this beer before we close out our show, let's play Am I the Asshole? I guess.
Oh, am I the asshole?
We haven't played this in a while. Let me bring up the Am I the Assholes for you.
Am I the asshole for not inviting my dad to my daughter's wedding?
No.
I don't think so either. He thinks I am. That was
Well, okay, that's
I
not
shared
actually
that
that's actually technically not correct. You The correct answer to that question isn't whether or not you are the asshole. The correct answer to that question is more deep. It's, do you even get to say who does or does not invite you to your child's wedding?
In
Your
this case,
child.
in this case, it was my call.
But in this case, like, the actual push is on the child for the most part, because it's their choice. If they really want them there, they're going to say yes. By giving you the option, what they're telling you
Correct.
is they don't want him there.
That's kind of how I thought.
Right. That's what they're telling you.
They're
right.
like, it was one of those things where
You're effectively fulfilling their wish.
if you,
So really
if
the
you
question
want, if that's exactly right. If they came to me and said, I want this person there, then they're there.
Right. The real question is your kid an asshole for not wanting to invite their grandfather to the wedding? Honestly, is the real question.
I don't think so.
I don't agree either, because issues. I think there are deeper things involved.
Yes.
I'm a big fan of not supporting people who don't support people.
I'm not a big fan of this one.
Yeah, sorry. I think it's okay. I think it's pretty good.
It's okay.
All right, so let's see here. All right.
I like this one better.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, this one's got like a funk.
We'll just kill this. We'll drink this and we'll drink a barrel aged when we done. Okay. Oh, text your wife too.
Oh,
All right. Am I the asshole for not helping my sister pay for her wedding, even though I could easily afford it, just because of a petty reason? Great question. This is a lot of words. Yada yada yada. Nobody gives a shit.
No. So here, first things first.
Just off headline.
How are you obligated to pay for your sister's anything?
Let's
Just
see. Let me
explain
skip.
this to me. How are you obligated to pay for your sister's anything? I don't care if you're a billionaire. You don't got to pay for your siblings' shit.
So it turns out, it's a girl. Turns out that her parents had gifted them both $25K each as a wedding present when they got engaged.
Okay.
Gifted us 20. Yeah. So but they saved $20K of the money they were gifted and put it into savings.
Right.
Because they just did a small ceremony / celebration in the parents' backyard and used
Right.
mom's old dress. So they just went cheap on their wedding.
Like we've offered to my kid. Like you want the party, we pay for the party. You want the event, you pay for the event. You want to save this money and do something fun with it later? Cool.
So the sisters apparently have been bitching about their wedding for years. Oh, it's cheap or trashy or whatever, right? But now it's time for her wedding. She wants to go all fucking out.
No.
But her parents have refused to give more than the original $25K. And then other family members tipped him about $5K. But unfortunately, the sister knows that she has this other $20K saved from her own
Tough
wedding.
shit.
She's trying to ask her now.
Definitely not the asshole.
Yeah.
You're not helping her argument at all.
I agree. So this seems like a really, really easy NTA. Oh, this is a really easy NTA. Everyone agrees. Your sister is out of her damn mind and entitled as hell to think she deserves the money you saved from your own wedding just because you didn't spend it. I mean, that's pretty much it. That's a breakdown.
Right. Like you want to overspend, I underspend.
Breakdown.
100%.
We should actually just do a show where
Not
we just
the
read Am I the Asshole?
I am
all
down
day.
with an
It's
Am I the
it's
Asshole
fun.
show.
We'll just drink
That's
for an
a
hour
good
and read Am I the Assholes. All right, see. Am I the asshole for telling my fiance that I cannot rely on her in a life or death situation? Ooh.
Well, can I ask you a question? The fuck you marrying this person for?
That's a weird question, right?
What the fuck are you marrying this person?
Let's see.
I mean, granted, you don't get in a whole lot of life or death situations, but so let's just say, for example, Corey, fire alarm goes off in the house, right? And you're a heavy sleeper, and your wife is not. She doesn't wake your ass up.
This one's kind of funny.
Okay,
This one's weird.
go for it.
This one's weird. All right. The person is all. I have what I think is a very good sense of situational awareness. I'm a quick thinker. I tend not to panic in dangerous situations.
Anybody who says that about themselves is
Automatically sound like an asshole.
correct. Correct.
My fiance, on the other hand, is the exact opposite. If I'm being nice, I would say she doesn't have any awareness of danger. If I'm being honest, I would say that she has the survival instinct of a panda raised in captivity. Good thing this is a throwaway account, bro.
Wow.
Yeah. So Friday, they were on a friend's boat, and they got into a dangerous situation. Supposed to be light rain, but they got a heavy downpour, high winds, high waves. Right? While me and the other men there were trying to strap things down and keep the boat from capsizing, my fiance screamed and cried for dear life. She was in hysterics. And I get it was a scary situation, but her yelling and screaming, "We're all gonna die!" For God. That means that I'd be the one screaming. I'd be like helping strap stuff down while screaming, "We're all gonna die."
You would be doing exactly both. You would be like, shut the we're all gonna die!
Yeah, dude, I would totally be doing that. That would totally be what I would do. That's great. Let's see here.
There's 100%.
For God to save us. None of the other GFs or wives are doing this, just her. The downpour is really bad for about 15 minutes. So 15 minutes of welling. We're doing everything we can to keep things all right. Yada, 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 yada. I told her that today proved to me that if I was in a life or death situation, I could not rely on her to be any help or do anything except make things more stressful. I said she needed to learn how to not panic and be helpful. She got super mad.
What?
He's like, was I the asshole?
I think you're the asshole for not expecting her to get super mad.
So I think I was right to say this, especially since we plan on spending our lives together raising a family, and I can't be the only level-headed one. Am I the asshole?
Yes. Yes. I'm going to say yes. Now,
Oh my god, edit. Oh my fucking god. The women there did not help because they did not know how to help. The men there have been out together on the boat countless times before, so we are all experienced and know exactly what to do. So it's not that the women couldn't help, it's that they just didn't know what to do. I mean, frankly, here's my actual, you want my real opinion here? He's clearly an asshole because you're not supposed to tell her that, but I'm fucking on board with him.
No. So here's the thing. I'm okay with the thought process. I'm okay
Don't
with
fucking
thinking.
say it though. Don't say that shit out loud.
You don't have to tell
What's
her
wrong
this.
with you?
First of all, how does it help the situation?
What's wrong
And
with
you've
you?
actually put into her head now she freaks out, which is going to make her freak out. No. You're the asshole for telling her. Yes. 100%. For thinking it, no.
Yeah, I'm on board.
No.
She does not sound like she'd be great enough.
No, and like I said, if all she's doing is, but you never know. Maybe it's the situation that is making her freak out. There could be other situations. Maybe she wouldn't be freaking out.
On the other hand, like, I've never thought to myself in my entire life, like, I've been with my wife for, I don't know, fucking 200 years or something.
200 years.
And I've never thought in my life, like, oh my god, how would she react in, like, an emergency situation? It's just not, like, a thing that I worry about. Because they just don't really come up that often.
Right.
They just don't.
And they certainly don't come up often enough that you have to tell her you don't think she would do good.
Right, I wouldn't go out of my way to tell her that. Like, I expect she'd probably do okay.
I mean, we've had, I think...
I wouldn't have the conversation because I would never expect a situation where she has to make some sort of weird life or death situation that involves engaging in some sort of act outside of something normal, like call fucking 911.
Right.
Like, I expect her to be able to think to herself, call 911.
I will say this. If it's me and my wife, I would be worried. If it's me and my wife and the kids, she's on the kids. Guaranteed. I have zero thought process at all that she would rush immediately to take care of
you
the
only
kids.
vacation with me, so I'm sure I'll call someone. It's fine.
No, but like you said, calling 911, that kind of shit. That's not surprise. That's not, to me. That's not panicking or not panicking. It's just that's. But you know, like we had a situation where we almost had a grease fire in the kitchen, and I pulled the pan off, and she was already getting the fire extinguisher. Like she was ready.
At least she wasn't getting the fucking water.
Right. Like I pulled it off, and my instant reaction was to go to the sink, and I'm like, "Wait, stop!"
Yeah, don't.
And
That's
the
right
bad
choice.
move.
Yeah, that's not the right choice.
That is not the right choice.
Pulling it off is the right choice.
Right, I pulled it off the burner.
Putting it in the water, not the right choice.
Putting it in the water is the bad choice. As I did, I pull it off. I'm like, wait, and then I stopped myself. But in the meantime, she's got the fucking fire extinguisher in her hand. So
now you're going out to dinner.
So I think we're okay. Yeah, well, yeah, we ended up going out to dinner.
All right, let's see what else we got here.
What other? We should do, and am I the asshole?
We should. You know,
Let's
next
do
show
that
we're
next
just
week.
going to fucking read the whole
I'm
thing.
down.
Let's see here. Am I the asshole for not allowing my teenage son to go on an important trip for school?
Well, it sounds like.
I mean, this one feels hard. Let's see here. I, F-35, a son, Mason. Sorry, M-15. This is the important part. Mason, until the last year, has been under the custody of his father, as he chose to live with him when we were divorced, and his father has less rules and spoils him. I mean, first of all, I automatically think she's probably the asshole because I did not like the way she approached the opener.
Yeah, the opening is
Sounds a little accusatory.
It's the kind of bullshit I deal with on a regular.
Mason's father's a prominent businessman and has decided that he doesn't have time for Mason anymore, so he was sent over here. Wow, this girl has got deep-seated issues.
Yeah, it's already starting off bad because
Don't worry, they love Mason regardless, though.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, it says so right here.
Because.
But apparently Mason is not too pleased he has to live with her.
Well, yeah. I don't know how you go from, hey, look.
He's in therapy, though, so that's a good step.
The standard is you typically get to 50-50, and if dad had majority custody, mom did something or gave it up.
Oh, now she's a savage. I typically do not allow him to buy every single thing he wants, do not allow him to drink, and also do ground him when he does something wrong, which his father doesn't do. He's 15. He probably shouldn't be drinking.
I agree you shouldn't be drinking.
Let's see here. Mason, when older, wants to be a biologist. And
grounding a 15-year-old is dicey, but I don't disagree.
This is good. This actually is kind of cool.
Okay.
Mason, when older, wants to be a biologist, and his school has offered to trip to travel around Australia to study wildlife.
Okay.
I did tell him I could go, however, I haven't paid yet. Yesterday, when I was shopping, we saw a homeless man on the street asking for money. I took my wallet, and Mason called him a drug addict who was dirty and should get a job, and then proceeded to say cruel words. Wow. I was appalled completely. I told him to apologize, but he tried to spit on the man, who I then gave $50. I felt horrible Mason would do this. Wow, how quick is my mind changing? And this story's a roller coaster.
Whoa! Okay.
I told Mason he was not allowed to go on the trip as punishment, as the trip is $10,000.
and he doesn't know the value of money or hard work and has a classist attitude. Instead, he will be volunteering while the rest of his friends go on the trip, as he has a terrible attitude. He called his father. His father is very upset, trying to convince me to go, and Mason is calling me the worst mother in the world. What a roller coaster!
Wow. Yeah, I went from definitely the asshole to
I mean, the correct answer. I'll give you my take. My take's not super nuanced here. I think that she's not the asshole. I also don't think she should go through with it.
I think she's kind of the asshole only because that's not the right punishment. That's all.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
And that's
That's
like I
over
say,
the.
it's-
He was
it's-
over the top.
No, like I said, first of all, I mean, this is how I was raised. We
You spit on homeless people? What's wrong with
no,
you?
that's where the level changed.
What's wrong with you?
I never spit on homeless people, but we always, it was my dad would be like, get a job, go fucking, go work, go do something.
I think that most days
used
now.
to- we would walk through Berkeley, and that's what I would that's what my dad would say to people. Like, go get a fucking job.
I don't really say it, but I think it now.
Right. I think it too. So I'm not
you
that.
know, getting a
So
job's
when
not
he
that
said
easy.
that, I'm like, spitting on him. Okay, that's where you.
That was
like
the
you said,
ro- that was the roller coaster
You're
ride.
like, go get a job. That's what I think. I just don't say it, and it's not really necessary to say. But you spit on a motherfucker. There are very
I think a homeless guy should get a whip your ass.
there are very few things you can do that I think are more disrespectful than spitting on someone. Like literally spitting on someone is the biggest sign of disrespect. Like you are so far beneath me when I spit on you. So for that, I just don't think it's the right punishment. That's all I'm saying.
All right, we are not quite at low battery yet, so we can probably still go for another like 5 or 10 minutes. Before we
So that's what I would say is the asshole only because the punishment doesn't fit the crime.
I think the right choice is simply a more nuanced punishment.
I
think
agree.
I would send them through homeless shelters. I would have them do volunteering, but I wouldn't take away the experience of the trip because
Well, and especially that trip for what they want to be.
right.
Like that is.
I just found out yesterday. This is sort of weird to go with it. I guess our school is doing some sort of a trip to Europe for the French and Spanish students.
I did not know this.
I didn't either. Go to
My kid is in
Spain and
Spanish.
France. I know. They're literally in my kid's class.
That's right.
Yeah.
And my kid was in French.
Right. So apparently that's a thing that exists. So I'm trying to get more information on that. So they might do that apparently in the spring next year.
Why the hell am I not learning this?
I don't know why. I didn't know either. Fuck. Barely. I went on email. So
I can't even talk to my kid to go to Philadelphia with me.
another track.
Does Callie want to go to Philadelphia for a week?
Callie would fucking say yes. Make no mistake. Another track month told us, and I was like, oh. And the wife was like, why isn't Callie going? I was like, I didn't know that.
I didn't know about it. Yeah.
Like, I was talking for years about I wanted to send the kid on the class trip to Europe, right? Because, like, Drew's kid went on the class trip to
Or
Europe.
DC or something, like anywhere.
Drew's kid, like, went on, like,
Yes.
Tyler went on the class trip to
Yes.
Europe. And she
I
had
would-
a great time.
I would
And
send
she
my
had
kid
a
on a class
boyfriend.
trip to anywhere.
whatever,
Leo went to New York with the drama, and literally, going back to I'm the
It's
asshole.
like a lot of money. But,
Your kid's in drama. My kid was in drama. They're going to New York to see plays. Like that is you fucking do that. They would have to do something catastrophic to the punishment being worth that. Removing that opportunity because that is life changing.
I think travel is the one experience you can give to children that really does make a big difference
I
in their
100%
lives.
agree, and that's why
And in their experiences.
that's
There's
why
a-
she's the asshole.
Though travel is the thing the kids will remember.
Always.
Did we tell you about San's kid, her 8th grader, with the presentation and stuff? So they live in Danville now, and apparently in Danville, 8th graders do a trip to like DC or something.
Yeah.
Right? We didn't
Most
have that
schools do
here.
a trip to DC.
We didn't do that.
Well,
here.
I know we don't, but most schools do.
Well, they do a
It's
whole
a-
trip.
it's a-
Actually,
it's a
might have been
whole-
to Europe
it's a whole
or something. I don't know. It's a whole
history-
thing.
yeah.
There's a big trip involved.
Yeah.
Like the beginning of like 8th grade year, like maybe like mid 7th year. So their kid put together a full-on PowerPoint spreadsheet to convince their parents to let them go. It was hilarious. It was really funny. They said yes, but
That is very Son and Alex.
It's funny because you would think that a school trip would be like reasonably costed, but they're not. They're actually probably more expensive than you could do it on your own.
They
which is weird,
100%
so
are.
More kids, so you'd think they could get better rates somehow, but like they just don't.
No, I will. So having experienced this, I will tell you right now. I
No, sending my
I-
kid to Europe is going to cost me like $10,000.
I went through this when I was on the school board. For example, when we would order computers, you would think you get a better rate, right? You're
'Cause you order
ordering
a lot.
hundreds of them. No.
What?
I'm like going online. I want to order a Dell PC, right? Your straight up Dell PC. $500-$600, right?
Okay, well, so
For
hold
the
on first.
school district, $1,100.
So to one point out, there is a difference between the Dell home site and the Dell business site. They are
Right.
typically different.
Right, but and I'm like, so then I'm like, I'll go through the business. I'm like, hey, look, let's just do it this way. We'll go to get a Dell business account. We'll create it. No, they have a governmental account, and if you look at the governmental account, Dell charges twice as much for, and it's not just Dell, everybody. You go and you see you're purchasing things for a governmental purpose, they have jacked the fuck out of prices.
And your Dell rep couldn't fix it, because we call her Dell rep and be
Nope.
like, yeah, bro, I can
Nope.
buy this for like fucking $500 on.
And it
Dell
wasn't like,
Send me a
and
new
I was like,
quote.
are we getting something for this? Like, are we getting a bundle of software that helps make up for this shit? No. It was literally, you had Dell Personal, Dell Business, Dell Governmental, and the governmental prices were almost twice as much
That's so
across the board. And so now you're going, wait a minute, like again, my brain went to, we're going to order a couple hundred PCs. We're going to order them, basically 60 a year, so you're not,
Right,
you're not,
sure.
because if you order all of them at once and you're replacing them all at once, so
Okay.
you basically do a 3-year tranche to replace them all, so that you're kind of rotating through and don't have one big hit every 3 or 4 years. So I'm like, let's just do that, and they're like, cool, and then they brought me the number, and I'm like, the fuck are you talking about? I literally had just gone to order for my job from the same place, and I'm like, we can't get a better deal. I'm like, no, this is the government price.
That's bullshit.
It is.
All right,
Welcome
let's see.
to, what is that?
Capitalism.
Capitalism.
All right, so I have a couple more Am I the Asshole
Okay.
before we wrap this up. All right, this one I actually read earlier. Am I the asshole for not drastically changing our family vacation?
Okay.
This one hit close to home. Months ago, my wife and I got a great deal on a family cruise with our kids up to Alaska.
That's very close to home.
Since that time, they paid off the cruise, scheduled and paid for a number of upgrades,
Right.
drink packages, tours, etc.
All the good stuff, yeah.
Flights from their home city. Also, birds aren't real.
Birds aren't
Hotel
real.
arrangements, so they can tour the port city, airport parking, etc.,
Right.
etc. Right.
Right. All the good stuff.
So they've also made arrangements with the family in the port city to visit them for a few days before the sailing day.
Oh, okay.
Which is
Gotcha.
cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Apparently, his wife, on the other hand, has been watching cruise videos on YouTube. Yeah. As well as talking to friends who are in a much higher income bracket.
Oh boy.
And she decided the ship we're sailing on is too small. It is the smallest ship in the particular line's fleet. But it's an Alaska cruise. This is not a fucking small ship, make no mistake.
No, we're.
This is like sailing on the Disney Wonder, because it actually does literally go to Alaska, and it is the smallest ship in their
It's the
fleet.
smallest ship in the fleet, yeah.
And I've been on it. It's beautiful. It's great.
It's not like it's 40 rooms.
So she has been on one cruise on her entire life on a similar size ship and had a good time. But apparently there's not enough activities for the kids and stuff on this one, according to her, to keep the kids out of her hair. But it has a kids club, it has an arcade, there's a pool, yada, yada, yada. So she's looked, hold on.
Okay,
so
so
it's
I have a
funny.
question to bring up there. We got you. Keep going. Keep
It
going.
gets
I'll
funny.
remember
So
it.
she's looked online for other cruises and found one on the same line that is leaving the same port a day earlier, but it's 3 days shorter. And she wants to switch to it. He was like, no.
What's the cost difference?
It doesn't actually say. Hold on. It doesn't say. I looked at just the base cost of the new cruise on the bigger ship, and it costs us significantly more. So the new, shorter cruise is equal to the old, longer cruise with all the tours and add-ons being added on.
So more money, less days.
More money, less days, less things.
Yeah.
And he was like, no.
No.
And now she's hella mad.
The answer is no.
Fuck
Not
no,
even
right?
close
Not even
to
close.
the asshole.
Nobody's on her side in this one.
Nobody. You can't. So first of all, like you said, it's not like you're talking a dinghy. You're talking a big ass ship.
Always-
She's not the big ass ship.
Always take more days
Always take
over
more days.
less days.
And
Granted, it's
but I want to go back to.
maybe it's an older ship on the boat, but the truth is you're gonna have a good fucking time
I
on
want
it
to go
anyway.
back to what I think is
3 extra days
I want to go back to an important part of this. Not enough activities to keep the kid out
out of her hair. Yeah.
What the fuck are you taking her for then?
That,
Like
that,
if your
was one of
goal,
the comments. That was one of the comments.
if your
That was one of the comments.
goal in the vacation, you're going on a cruise. If your goal on the cruise is not to have to deal with your kid, why the fuck are you taking your kid?
I mean, so we're going on a
Correct me if
cruise.
I'm wrong.
I've been on a couple cruises, right?
Right.
And
you want things for them to do.
The goal is absolutely for us was never to not engage with our kid.
Right.
But at the same time, our kid enjoyed the kids clubs.
Right.
And they enjoy. We're going on a new cruise, and I'm really hoping they're going to enjoy the teen clubs. It's going to be a bunch
You
of
were
kids around
never
their age.
thinking,
They have a great time.
what
It
can
was-
I do to get them out
How
of
can
my
I get
hair?
rid of them? Right. We were
Right.
just like, you want to hang at the pool?
Right, you're like,
fuck yeah.
how
we'll
can
hang
we
at the pool.
maximize everybody's fun? You want to do this? Cool, because we can go do that while you're doing this.
Right, or if
but
we're-
then we'll do this together.
Granted, occasionally we're doing it all things. Say we're doing it the mojito tastings, right?
Right.
It's like a 2-hour thing. You can either hang out in the fucking room for 2 hours doing nothing, Or you can go to the kids club for
Right.
2 hours, like whatever. Like you can do one of these two
Right, and
things.
especially
you can't
nowadays,
go
like,
to do mojito
you-
tastings, unfortunately. I'd let you taste mojitos, but they won't. So whatever.
Not quite 18, because once you get into national waters, right?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. So, but no. This is. I don't go on a vacation with my kids to get the kids out of my hair, right?
No, I actually agree with you. I think that vacations with your kids are about experiences with your kids that you and your kids will both remember.
Yeah, and it's them doing things they want to do. Like again, I'm going to Philly and I'm taking my kid, and I'm not expecting them to spend all week with me. But
Right.
I want to go and do 2 or 3 things with them, right? Like I'm taking you to Philly. I want to go. They're like, we're going to go to Morimoto's, for example. Like that's a thing.
That's your
I'm
thing.
looking forward to that.
Which is
They-
super weird because
that-
it's a fucking sushi place, but whatever.
Well, but it's Morimoto's. I gotta go to
I
Morimoto's.
feel like you should have picked a different spot, like sort of like not sushi, but okay.
Well, yeah, but it's a thing that they do, and I'll find something. And if I have to, you know that if at least I will at least try.
Order the spicy tuna rolls.
I will try the spicy tuna rolls. We're doing that
Actually,
Jody recommended the Medical History Museum.
She's
They
gonna be
were-
the right. She's gonna be the right. She's gonna be the right recommendation.
and that was
She's
perfect.
okay, so
Like
yeah.
that is like so we're doing those things, but I'm not like I'm also going to do some other things. They're going to do some other things. That's a vacation with your kid.
Absolutely. I better
No.
find one more beer, I guess.
All right. Well,
I'm not friends. What did the wife say?
huh?
What did the wife say?
She's responding.
Fucking women.
Oh, hold on hold with help center TurboTax.
Oh yeah, I shouldn't have got a TurboTax. We can close this out. We can close it out. That's a drink.
Well,
We can go inside and play Hearts Order.
yeah.
See if the wife
So
says
let's
wrap it up,
we'll,
let's wrap it
we'll
up.
close this out. Thank
Thank,
you for watching.
Thank you for
in the
watching this
future.
video in the future.
Yes, we hope
Hopefully
you enjoy
all
it.
of our topics were not timely at all, actually, and they're really weird. But hopefully you got a interest in us, and hopefully we'll do watch our next video where we'll just go over Am I the Assholes? And
Yes, we'll do an Am I the Asshole
we'll
show next
declare
week.
fucking verdicts on people.
I agree. And quite frankly, we're very judgmental people.
Yeah, I'm judgy as shit.
I'm judgy as fuck.
Yeah.
So I think that'll be a good one. We just got to figure out what to do for beers. We got to come up with a theme for the beers.
Judgy beers. All right, let's see. I don't know. Well, we definitely got some barrel aged stuff we're supposed to drink. We're actually probably going to go and sip on a barrel aged in a minute.
But anyway, check us out on the
yeah, check us out.
YouTube
YouTube, Instagram, and Twitch.
and Twitch.
At Beer Splaining, I think at all 3 basically.
Yes, beer splaining everywhere.
Obviously,
And
this is Twitch here, and eventually YouTube. So,
and see you
cheers.
next
Enjoy
week.
some beers. Go
Cheers.
find some beers, guys. All right, cheers.
It's like a 2-hour session. That's fine.
It was fun. And I agree with you. The Am I the Asshole show is going to be because there's no shortage. of
said cheers. Is that you?
Yeah, it was just.
Oh, okay.
I just put it in just so it